We are live! Back in the house with another one. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and we are here to do a review for match week 3. What a match week we had, though. We have some very exciting fixtures to actually run through and react to. More reaction than analysis, to be honest, for most of these, because I'm telling you, some of these games were a blur. And to go in depth into all the games would be kind of difficult, to be completely honest, because, you know, we had some really good games. Chelsea, Leeds, Man City, Newcastle, the United, Liverpool game was good. The Brentford, Fulham game was also another very, very good game. So, to remember all the details from every game is impossible, but I'll try my best to highlight some of the things that actually happened in most of these. So without further ado, let's get down to business. Your boy Dom, and I'm back. I'm back with the consistency. I actually did a watch along yesterday. So, you know, to do the watch along and to do the review was a little difficult yesterday, to be honest. So I kind of put it off for today when I'm energized, when I've spent some time with the family and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, when most of you guys are actually up and about as well, because, here in America, to do the live streams late at night, most of the people in Europe are actually sleeping, and I kind of, you know, lose that audience. So Paloma is saying, damn, nostalgic morning streams. Yeah, a fire. Yeah, man. I used to do these streams very early in the morning, and I can do them in the morning again. I might have to go back to some morning streams on early Mondays and early Tuesdays, so that I could just, get that content out when most people are up and not asleep. So thanks, Sebastian, repping Sweden today. I just went in my pile of kits over there, and I said, let me wear this one today. Big up to Moritz in the house. Guys, if you haven't yet, smash your thumbs up button. Make sure you do so and vote in the poll to let us know where do you think Liverpool would finish the season when come the end of May. I think that's when the title is decided, right? This season, even though there's the World Cup. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get straight into these matches, guys. You know what I mean? Let's pull up the Premier League website, and we are gonna go down the fixtures, and we are gonna talk each and every one of these results. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just do some quick research to see if there's any updates on the teams that we're talking about. So let's talk about the first game, man. Let's go all the way back and let's talk about something light to begin with. We don't want to start off too heavy, and I'm saying want to start with something a little light, and then we'll get into the heavier stuff. And when I look at this, it's all big games to me, man. These are all very, very good games, and these are very good games. Let's start with Fulham versus Brentford, that West London derby. That was very, very entertaining, man. Very, very good game. Bobby Reed scored early, just after kickoff, about 45 seconds. Very scrappy goal, but very good team goal there by Fulham. And they followed it up with a 28-minute goal through new signing João Paulinho. I got to say something really quick about João Paulinho. They got him for about 15 million euros. And I don't know how they managed to get that deal done, but that's a steal because João Paulinho, formerly of Sporting, is a player that I really admired. And to be honest, he could have played for a Champions League team. But what I realize is that the fact that João Paulinho is playing for Fulham is that if he does well, then the top 6 teams are then going to be like, oh, okay. Now we're identifying a very good defensive midfielder that we can sign. You see what I mean? So they don't want to really take the gamble on a player, and then when they do sign for a lower table team, a mid-table team, and does well, then is when the bigger teams say, okay, now we've got the proof that this player is very good, and we're gonna splash the cash. And it's kind of unfair to the smaller teams that do the scouting and all of that. But then again, they do get compensated very well. So you could see him coming in for 15 mil and being sold on for 45 to 50. You know what I'm saying? So look out for João Paulinho. He's not young. He's not very, very young. He's about 26, I think. 26, 27-ish. So, let's see how he progresses in the Premier League. But he has definitely hit the ground running, though. Very good header in the 20th minute to give Fulham a 2-0 lead. But you got to give a lot of credit to Brentford for staying in this match. I think they did get a goal disallowed, that Ivan Toney did score a goal, if I can recall. I was actually following this game on something called Goal Zone, where they were showing all four matches at the same time. So I did get glimpses of this match, but I did go back and watch the highlight package. That was about almost 20 minutes. No, I think that was about 14 minutes long on NBC. So look, credit to Brentford. I really got to give him a lot of credit here, because they did what they had to do to get back in the game. And they scored two goals through. First goal was scored to Norgard. That was a very, very good goal from a set piece and a bullet volley to bring Brentford back into the game in the derby. And then Ivan Toney in the 71st minute. And his celebration mimicking Alexander Mitrovic was, a bit, ironic that they went on to lose the game in the end through a Mitrovic goal that was scored in the 90th minute from a brilliant header, a recycled ball put back into the box by Newman, Kevin Mbabu, and Mitrovic with the leaping header to beat the goalkeeper Raya. And Fulham with a well-deserved win, I gotta say. And I feel I do feel good that I predicted Fulham to stay up. And they haven't let me down so far. I gotta give him a lot of props here, man. They really haven't let me down so far, man. So that's a good win for Marco Silva and his boys. And when you think about Marco Silva, you could see that Marco Silva is a very, very good manager. And I'm glad that he made some very solid signings, and they've started the season well. And it's gonna be interesting to see how they actually, progress moving forward when, they have more difficult fixtures, you know what I mean? But to win this derby was very, very important for Fulham. Big 3 points. And look, that's a great start to the season. That is a humongous start to the season for Fulham. And when you look at the table, they're seventh with 5 points, one win and two draws. So they're unbeaten. And when you think Fulham, they usually don't start the season very, very well. And this would be the boost that they need. And all they need to do is to keep that momentum going. As for Brentford, look, it's a little setback, but this do still have 4 points. I did predict Brentford to get relegated this season. They might not get relegated, but let's see how that one goes. But for Fulham, I think they're going to stay up. Something that we could take a brief look at before we do move on from this fixture is the lineups, right? Bert Leno put into the number one spot. I think he was signed as a number one goalkeeper, and Marek Rodak was actually, relegated to number two. And the move paid off because they went on to win the game. You got to give them a lot of credit there. It's always nice to see the two Americans, Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson, in the 11 there. And for Tim Ream, I don't know if he'll be in the World Cup squad, but if he does have a good season up until the World Cup for Fulham, I think he might just make the cut. Robinson will be in the squad, once he's fit. You go into the midfield there. Jay Stanfield. This is a youngster that was actually put into the 11 in place of Niskens Kibano, who suffered a bit of injury there. And you can see João Paulinho, the creativity of Andreas Pereira, the determination of Bobby Reed, and the steel of a player like Harrison Reed in the midfield. Fulham looks good. Alexander Mitrovic up top. You have options like Shane Duffy and Babu. And Babu is a quality player, Swiss national team player. He's a quality right back. And, he'll be in the team sooner rather than later. You know what I mean? So, guys, Kenny Tete got to watch himself as the right back, because Mbabu would be in the 11 sooner rather than later, though. But they're looking good. The bench doesn't look too bad with the likes of Nathaniel Chalobah. He's, former England international, doesn't really play much these days. Going to be hard to get back in the team. And you got Issa Diop brought in from West Ham. So they do have a lot of cover. And what's important to survive is to just have a solid squad, a well-balanced squad, a deep squad. And I think Fulham should be all right, man. You know what I mean? You go over to Brentford and the way they were set up. Mbuemo looked good in for that goal, that Ivan Tony goal, and Mbuemo looked really, really good, man. You know what I mean? I look, the reason why I predicted Brentford to go down is because I just don't like, the way they struggled last season before Ericsson came in. And I think they could go through a similar period, man. So, you know, Aaron Hickey, I didn't watch the game. I don't know how he's progressing so far, but he's starting. But it was an indifferent game for Brentford. They almost bounced back like they did against Leicester, but in the end, Fulham held on to the 3 points. So hard luck to Thomas Frank, who who tactical abilities is showing, making these substitutions and making things happen. But in the end, Mitrovic had the last laugh, and he's actually closing in on 100 Fulham goals, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see how both these teams progress, man. So big up to everybody in the stream right about now. Paloma is saying, who would have expected this game to be so thrilling? I know, man. Sebastian is saying Mitrovic might score 10 goals if he keeps scoring. I think he will get 10 goals. I think he will get 10 goals this season. I definitely think he will. Who else we got in the house here? Guys, don't be afraid to drop a comment. Don't be afraid to go in the poll and leave your vote. We got 11 votes where you think Liverpool would end the season. And as the stream progresses, I'll change up the poll, you know what I mean, when it gets a little stale. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I have any updates on both Fulham and Brentford for you in terms of any transfers and all that stuff. We will touch that again when we do the preview. So I just want to see if we have anything that I actually missed. You know what I'm saying? So look, there's some news here that Fulham still in talks with Brighton and Neil Maupay's representatives over £15 million deal. Talks ongoing between Fulham and Roma to finalize a loan plus option for forward Justin Clivert. Roma want option to become obligation depending on player performance and Fulham staying up. The thing is, I think Neil Maupay is actually going to Nottingham Forest. I thought that deal was done. So I don't know why Fulham is still being mentioned in that. Maybe the Neil Maupay deal isn't actually finished. Another update. Middlesbrough signed Rodrigo Muniz on loan from Fulham. He's a Brazilian forward, a young forward, and he's not going to feature into Marco Silva plans for the Premier League. So he's sent out on loan to Middlesbrough to actually develop. There's also some updates here, guys. West Ham, Fulham, and Bournemouth are all interested in signing Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and Arsenal want to sell him permanently. So let's see what happens with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I feel bad for the young man, because his career is just not progressing at all. So there's more news. Fulham target PSG's Kozawa in late transfer push amid Neil Maupay battle. I think there's a battle between Forest and Fulham for Maupay. Let's see who gets him. And let me see. Fulham join race for Josh Bowler as Nottingham Forest prepare 7-figure bid. So I don't know who Josh Bowler is. He's probably let me see who Josh Bowler is. And Josh Bowler is actually playing for Blackpool. So Fulham have joined the race for Blackpool winger Josh Bowler, as per Patreon report from German journalist Alan Nixon. He's 23-year-old, and he's attracted a lot of interest from high division clubs during this summer already, and has started a new second-tier campaign in strong form. So these are just some updates for you guys that I'm, hitting you with. I will touch on these again when I do the preview, and we'll get deeper into that. So we have some time today to delve a little bit deeper into each and every fixture. This is a discussion. This is a live stream. I'm not in any rush at all. So we're in it for the long game here. It's a long game today, okay? But in terms of Brentford, Forest Green Rovers signed Miles Pate-Harris on loan from Brentford. So that's a latest update here. And in terms of Brentford, I don't have anything else in terms of any transfer updates or any major kind of news, So let us move on to the next game. So that's it for Fulham versus Brentford. But before we do move on, let's talk about their next match. For Fulham, they're 7th in the table. They would want to remain in the top 10 for as long as possible. And Fulham's next game is a second round EFL Cup match against Crawley Town today. I didn't even realize these EFL games will actually play today, though. Big up to the boy Doug in the house. How are you doing, Doug? Nice to see you around these parts, man. Hard luck on the loss yesterday. So Fulham are playing today against Crawley Town. A lot of changes expected to be made there because they do have a big London derby against Arsenal coming up on Saturday. As for FC Brentford, in terms of their position in the league, they are eighth, just one behind Fulham. And for them, their next game would also be today against Colchester. And that's going to be an away match in the EFL Cup second round. And they do face Everton this Saturday. So that's a wrap for that first fixture. Appreciate you guys actually listening. And don't forget to smash the thumbs up button if you are yet to this. So big up to the boy, Ivan LFC, who say Liverpool will struggle to get top four. Make sure you guys vote in the poll. We got 19 votes. We have outside top four, 16%, third, 47%, second, 21%, 16% of the voters still think Liverpool are going to win the title. Big up to Angel Abel in the house. Nice to see you in here. Claude Murphy. The problem with Fulham, they always give up a lead. Well, let's see, what they do this season, though. Let's see. Big up to the awesome BLE. Mitrovic will score 10 to 12 goals. I think he could score up to 15 goals this season once he plays, though. Once he plays. So let's keep an eye on Mitrovic. Big up to Bambi Rosie, who's saying, let's not lose hope, Red. Still early season. We move. Okay, nice little motivation there as we move on to the next fixture. And the next game, let's talk a bit about this match, man. Crystal Palace 3, Aston Villa 1. Villa giving up the lead from a winning position there. 5th-minute goal by Ollie Watkins. Brilliant assist by Leon Bailey and well finished by Ollie Watkins. But 2 minutes later, Wilfried Zaha scored a breakaway goal, a little controversial goal where Crystal Palace went from defense to attack in a blink of an eye, and Zaha broke away and scored. Brilliant finish at the far post there to beat Emi Martinez. He then scored again in the 58th minute. That was a saved penalty and the rebound put in by Zaha. And Jean-Philippe Mateta off the bench with a brilliant team goal, man. Tyreek Mitchell has a bright future. Let me say that one time. Tyreek Mitchell has a bright future. He won't be a Crystal Palace player next summer. Mark my words. Mark my words. Tyreek Mitchell is the real deal. And what he did against Salah last week, oh, man, is just testament to that. And his 1-2 and the run and the cross into the box. And, what a damn goal by Jean-Philippe Mateta off the bench to give Crystal Palace a 2-goal advantage there. Brilliant win by Patrick Vieira and his boys after that 1-1 draw against Liverpool, man. Consistency there shown by Crystal Palace. They could be a very, very dangerous team this season. And bigger teams gotta, be very, very careful. Ask Liverpool if you don't believe me of this Crystal Palace team. But look, they could have scored more. I think they do deserve the win. Hudson Edward, I think, had a rotten day in front of goal. He has not scored in over 10 Crystal Palace games, but it's nice to see Mateta on the score sheet. That will do his confidence a lot of good. The fact that he's not starting every game, maybe we'll see him from the start more often than a Jordan Ayew, who I think did get an opportunity himself. But it was just chances galore in this match, man. I think there was a few disallowed goals, if I'm not mistaken. Not going to get too deep into that because this is not a game that I actually watched live. So it's one of the other games I was playing while I was watching another match. But big win for Crystal Palace, man. Huge 3 points here. And kudos to Zaha, man. He's been very consistent. He's one of the most consistent players in the Premier League. He's got, I think, about 11 to 12 goals in his last 15 to 20 starts. So he's been on fire lately, man. So do have to give Wilfried Zaha a lot of credit. And Patrick Vieira was asked if he's going to be a Crystal Palace player come end of the transfer window. And I think he should remain a Crystal Palace player. Doesn't make sense to go up to another team, a top 6 team, and then, you're flopping. You see what I mean? I hate to see that. I really, really hate to see that. So it's best when a player stays put when they start in every single game for their club and they're doing very, very well. You know, sometimes when you're overly ambitious, it doesn't always work out for you. You know what I mean? So look, Aston Villa are struggling. Let's talk about that one. And if you look at the lineup here for Aston Villa, you'll see Tyrone Mings in the back there, along with Ezri Konza. Gerard brought in Diego Carlos to kind of help out at the back there, but he's injured for the foreseeable future, and it's left a big gaping hole in Aston Villa's defense. You see how hard they have to work. You know what I mean? You go over to the stats. 17 shots and on goal for Crystal Palace, 9 on target. So Martinez was a busy man in goal. He pulled off some really good saves, but he couldn't stop 3 of those from going into the back of the net, man. So Villa again have defensive problems. Even though, go back to the lineup, they have the likes of Boubacar Kamara, just sitting in front of the defense there. Didn't help. Maybe Steven Gerrard need to rethink his lineup. Maybe it calls for like a Marvelous Nakamba. Is he fit? Yeah. Maybe it calls for a Marvelous Nakamba again, or Douglas Luiz. Sometimes you get that new player, you want to throw him in from the start. Maybe they need to go back to square one. Douglas Luiz on the bench doesn't make any sense to me. You see what I'm saying? Coutinho started up from the bench. Understandable. He has not been that good from the first 2 games there, and did suffer a little injury. So it's understandable that Emi Buendia was given a chance, but still, you know what I mean? Buendia, when given a chance, got to really step up and, you know what I mean? Take control of the the creative role and help his team. But they ended in another loss. So Villa, not a great start to the season. They did win their second game, I could recall. They did pick up a victory, but they have lost 2 out of 3 now, and losing to Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. 2 teams that they should beat, in my opinion, with the type of money that they spend, with the type of team that they assemble, is a bit poor. And Steven Gerrard would be under a bit of pressure here, man. Look, if we just take a look at some of the inclusions here, Jacob Ramsey, I think, have started the season very slowly. Players like Matt Cash and Luca Dina as well, they got to step their game up. Steven Gerrard have a conundrum with who he starts in terms of Danny Ings. You got the likes of Ollie Watkins, Leon Bailey. So got a little headache there in who he starts. Up top. Some news. Bertrand Traore has joined Istanbul Basaksehir here. I was just thinking about the 11 and the forward and everything, and I just remember that. I'll touch on that at the back end of this this little analysis as well. Look, we look at the Crystal Palace team, man. They have a lot of firepower off the bench. Olise, Jean-Philippe Mateta. If you need some defensive cover, you got the likes of Chris Richards, Klein. I like that he didn't start Klein in this game, because Klein's been, having a very good run in the team, but you can't overdo it because you know how injury prone he could be. And giving him a rest, doing a little rotation there, it can't hurt. It really, really can't hurt. So I think Joel Ward started at right back there, along with Guehi, Anderson, Mitchell. So not bad at all. Not bad. Eze, he had a great game against Liverpool, and another good one there against Aston Villa. Schlupp did score a goal that was chalked off, so he's been very good as well. Czech Dukorit looks like a really, really good signing. And another thing, when we talk about Czech Dukorit, something that I'm glad that I remember to mention is that they actually moved on Checo Kuyate and brought in Czech Dukorit in the midfield, which means you could see that Crystal Palace refreshing their team. You see what I mean? It just keeps refreshing their team. And talk about refresh, I did run across something on Reddit about the Liverpool 11 yesterday. And the difference between 111 from 2018 and the 11 from 2022 was Sadio Mane and Gini Wijnaldum, which is absolutely crazy when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? So hint, 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 okay? Got to keep refreshing that team, man. Definitely got to keep refreshing the team. So, look, Crystal Palace would be all right, I think. I don't have anything to worry about when it comes to Crystal Palace in terms of them, surviving. They don't have to worry about relegation, in my opinion, because they're a very well put together team. And all credit, man, all credit goes out to Patrick Vieira. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Vieira representing all day, every day. So, look, in terms of some updates for these teams, man, in terms of some updates, let's just see if there's any transfer links to Crystal Palace. Let me see what we got here. And then we're going to talk a bit about Aston Villa, who might sign a new centre back in place of Diego Carlos. So Crystal Palace interested in Boubakary Soumare. Leicester open to offers for the 23-year-old who hasn't featured at all this season. He was a 17 million signing from Lille last summer and last month was keen on a move back to France with Monaco, but the initial bid was rejected. So keep an eye on that. Crystal Palace is a team that signs a lot of, players of African origin, if you don't realize. And, Patrick Vieira himself being a former player and manager of African origin, is understandable. But it's a good mixture. It's a good mixture in the team, but still, it's not a good mixture in the team, guys. It is not a good. I'm lying. I'm lying. I am absolutely lying there because 8 out of 11 players on the Crystal Palace team of African origin there in the starting 11. You know what I'm saying? Not a very good mixture at all. I'm dead lying when it comes to that one. So I don't know what Vieira is trying to do here, but this team is very black. Oh my God. Anyways, man. Anyways, I don't know if many people notice that, but it is though. Let's not talk too much race and all that kind of stuff. But it's lighthearted stuff, anyways. But still, Crystal Palace. I see what you're doing there, Vieira. I see what you're doing. Okay, you know what I mean. Not gonna fly under the radar here. I see what you're doing. So look, I think that's about it. They were linked to Ile Moriba, former Barcelona youngster there, but there hasn't been any, buzz about that lately. So in terms of Aston Villa there, let me see what we got on Aston Villa. Aston Villa. Okay, so it's nice that I'm giving you guys a little updates, right? Well, let me know how you liking that. So Aston Villa are slated to sign 25, well, Ishmael Assar for 25 million pounds from Watford. I did talk about that one, I think, in the last preview. So they just waiting to iron out the final chinks of that transfer. And, that will be done. Ishmael Assar. And that's going to be maybe a Bertrand Traore replacement, which is understandable. They haven't really replaced players like Trezeguet as well. You know what I mean? So, Villa doing the damn thing when it comes to signings, but are these signings going to actually work? Are Gerrard going to actually know how to use these signings? It's just left to be seen. So, Saw is definitely a good addition to any attack. So that's it for the Aston Villa Crystal Palace match in terms of who they play next. For Crystal Palace, who are ninth, they got 4 points so far this season, a win and a draw. Their next game will be today against Oxford United in the Carabao Cup second round. I wish I could have done like a Carabao Cup watch along, like a multi-stream watch along, tune into a couple of the matches but I got things to do, man. I really got things to do. You know what I mean? I can't be putting all this time into YouTube and, you know what I mean? I have other things to do. You see what I'm saying? I really can't. I really, really can't. And after that, the next game on the weekend will be away to Manchester City. That's going to be a huge game. And it's not the best time to play City when they're needing to bounce back after that draw against Newcastle United. But it's still going to be a very, very tricky fixture for both Manchester City and Crystal Palace. Got to give respect to Palace, you know what I mean? Not because City are defending champions and I'm a City fan, I'm going to be like, yeah, we're going to smash Crystal Palace to pieces. It's not going to be that easy at all. And, you got to learn. Definitely got to learn. Aston Villa, who are 13th with a paltry 3 points from their first 9 available. Their next game will be today against Bolton Wanderers in the EFL Cup. And then they do face West Ham on Sunday in the Claret and Blue Derby. All right, so that'll be it for that one, guys. We are going to take a move on. But before we do, let me see what you guys are actually saying in the chat. Big up to everybody in the stream right now. Guys, make sure you like the video. We got over 50 people in here. So if we could get as close as 50 likes in here right about now, I'll definitely appreciate that, man. So big up to Queens City Soccer Report, who says thoughts on Nick Pope as Newcastle keeper. Keep up the great content. Look, Queen City, I'm going to give you an assignment to do. Go and check out the reaction that I did on the Newcastle Man City game. Check that one out, and you'll hear exactly what I think about Nick Pope. All right, because we're not there yet. We'll talk about that when we get there. All right. Awesome, BLE, big Inter fan, man. Congrats on the win on the weekend. I did tune into the back end of that game. Inter looking good. Squad very deep. Jekyll, coming off the bench of school there. Joaquin Correa, you know what I mean? Who else you got there? Skriniar. Team looked good, man. Lukaku, Lautaro. The team looked good. That was a good goal scored by Lautaro, though. That was a very, very good goal. So, Bambi Rosie saying Africa got talents indeed. Big up to the boy AD744. Palomo, nice to see Bailey getting some goal contribution. Definitely. Ivan is saying Zaha should stick to Palace at this point. So, Dom, you forgot to put the word City in your title. Did I? Did I? No. Oh, yeah. Man drop points. I actually meant to say City drop points, and not man. So I don't know how that one actually popped up like that. But thank you very much for that, though. You guys are the best. And I'm going to actually change that up right now. Let me see. City. I actually meant to say City. I don't know why I put man. That's kind of weird that I put man, right? So let me see. Let me just make the changes. Um, yeah, I don't know why I put man though. I really don't know why I put man. So City drop points and save. All right. Yeah, I can't save it. Yeah, I can't change it now. I can't. The live stream has already started, so I can't change it. I actually thought I could have changed it live, but I can't change it though. So, I'm gonna have to rectify that when the stream is done. I don't know if I could actually go into the back end of YouTube and change that. Let me see if I could do that. But I tried changing it on StreamYard, but it didn't reflect. So let me see if it changes on YouTube. Let me see. Let me just see that really quick. Yeah, well, appreciate that for pointing that out. Let's see what we got. Yeah, my internet is kind of acting up there too. All right, yeah. All right. We're gonna change that up. We're gonna definitely change that. All right. So yeah, I've changed it. Let me refresh and see if it reflected the change. Yeah, it did. It did. It reflected it without me even doing a refresh or anything. So I changed it, but I couldn't do it from StreamYard. I did it from YouTube. So thank you very much there. So look, Lula is clicking again. Yeah, he's back where he wants to be, man. Definitely. So what else we got here in terms of comments? Sebastian. Villa has not been playing good for the first three games. The next game for Palace, they could do something because Palace, when they play versus City away, is always give you guys huge problems like last season. I know that's what I know that's what you want, but that's not what might actually happen. I know that is what you want. Let's say, come out, Sebastian. Just come out. You know what I mean? Take off the freaking the mask and say, hey, I'm a Man City hater, and I want y'all to lose every single game. Come on, man. Come on, stop lying. Guys, don't forget to like the video. We got 21 likes. I think you guys could do a lot better than that. We got over 50 people in here, and you guys could do a lot better than that. Okay, make sure you vote in the poll. That's live right now. We got 47 votes, and 11% think that Liverpool are still going to win the title. All right. With that being said, let's move on to the third match. We're not doing very well in terms of time, but time, we'll eat these games up as we go along. Let's talk about Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 1. I'm absolutely happy for Everton and Lampard especially because they did deserve something from this game. Seriously. They really, really did. And, it was unlucky that they conceded that goal in the 81st minute. And they did manage to peg one back 8 minutes later. So Brennan Johnson with the goal in the 81st. Kudos to him for scoring there. and 88-minute Demari Gray. But you see Dean Henderson giving the man of the match there. He was very, very good in the game, pulled off some huge saves, and respect to Dean Henderson not given the opportunity at United and trying his thing. He should have never left Sheffield though. Should have never ever left Sheffield United. So look, we go to the lineups really, really quick. 1-1, 1-1, but let's just dissect this game a little bit more. You check the Steve Cook getting a start here for Forest, and this is in place of Niakate, who did pick up an injury and will be out for a long-term period. So that's very, very sad that Niakate, who was just brought in from Mainz, I think, is on the sidelines so early in the season, man. I don't know if it's the Premier League is proven to be a bit too rigorous for some of these players, but it's just sad, man. I also saw that Orel Mangala picked up an injury as well, so hope these players are fine. And but I think Niakate will be out for a long time, but hopefully for Mangala, who I think also came in from the Bundesliga, I think he came in from Stuttgart, hope he's fine for the foreseeable future as well. But look, go back to the 11 here. Nico Williams, man. I saw Nico Williams got a shot off that was saved by Pickford, and I was like, God damn. Nico Williams has definitely developed as a very, very good footballer, man. Don't be surprised to see him back at Liverpool in the future. If he continues on this trajectory, Liverpool would definitely sign him up again. And this time to actually play some games. But not many changes there in the Brentford team. Nice to see Brennan Johnson get a goal. He was one of the best players in the championship last season. I think he got second most goals. No, I think maybe he was about third. Solanke was second, Mitrovic was first. But he scored a lot of goals, though. As you guys could see there, Morgan Gibbs-White, new player, just signed from Wolves. Some big money, man. Came on in the 61st minute, wasn't able to help his team win as well. You could see Checo Kuyate as well getting a run out. A lot of new players, man. A lot of new players. They've signed 15 to 20 players already this season. Emmanuel Dennis, Remo Freuler, those players newly signed wasn't used on the day. Look, you go over to the Everton side, I think Amadou Onana has to start. I really think he has to start because Everton does look a better team when Onana is on the field. You got to start integrating players like Ruben Venago. You bought him, start bringing him into the team. And, you could see Rondon got a rare start. I think he did get a chance early on in the game, didn't take it. Anthony Gordon was bright as usual. And we will talk a bit about Anthony Gordon just now. But look, the key to Everton actually surviving the drop this season like they did last year. I think they'll struggle. They'll come in about 15th, 16th, 14th if they're lucky. Is their defense. You see Connor Cody and Tarkowski back there. These players are going to be massive if Everton are to survive. Mason Holgate as well. And when the likes of Ben Godfrey and Yerry Mina get fit again, Michael Keane could also help them. You could see he's not being used, but he's there waiting. Seamus Coleman as well. They do have cover. You see what I'm saying? They do have cover, but the players that they actually want to play from the beginning are all injured. Look, another player that's out that they need fit again is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They need Calvert-Lewin back in the team, man. And I think Everton would have to make a few more signings before the transfer window closes as well, because they're on the cusp of losing Anthony Gordon. I think he might actually go to Chelsea. So that's it for that game. We just take a brief look at the stats. Forest with most of the possession, 14 shots, 5 on target. Everton with 19 shots, 8 on target. So Dean Henderson was indeed a busy man on the day. Indeed he was. It was a well-balanced game. It is a game that I was watching. You know what I mean? It wasn't the most entertaining of games, but, I still tuned in and took a look at this game. 1-1, Spurs shared. First points picked up this season for Everton. As for Forest, this, is their 4th point. I did predict Forest to survive, and let us see how that one transpires. Look, just so we get the next games out the way, and then we get into the transfers before I forget to let you guys know who they do play next. For Nottingham Forest, who are 10th in the table with 4 points, a win and a draw. The next game will be today against Grimsby Town in the EFL Cup. While for Forest, the next Premier League game will be against Spurs at home on the weekend. So in terms of Everton, who are 17th, just a point below Liverpool, just a place below Liverpool in the table with a similar record, but they only have 1 draw and 2 losses. I don't mean to rub that in, Liverpool fans. Sorry, man. I really don't mean to. Okay, sorry about that. Everton's next game will be today as well against Fleetwood Town in the EFL Cup, and then they face Brentford on the road in the Premier League. So, in terms of some transfer updates for you guys here for these two teams. So, for Everton, I know it's going to be about Anthony Gordon, but 4 hours ago, we had an update here that understand Everton are preparing to match Newcastle's offer for Watford's forward Joao Pedro. I thought the Joao Pedro deal was actually completed already to Newcastle. I don't know how Everton are actually, coming into the mix. They should have actually gone. When they lost Richarlison, they should have gone in for a player like Joao Pedro like right away. You know what I'm saying? Richarlison came from Watford. He did well for Everton. They should have immediately, that should have sparked in their head like immediately. Hey, man, let's do that. That worked in the past. Let's go back for another Watford player again. You see what I mean? They didn't. They really, really didn't. So let me see if there's any other updates on the whole Joao Pedro thing. If Fabrizio Romano did say, here we go, when it comes to Joao Pedro. But we got a lot to go through today, though. We have quite a lot to go through, man. So, yeah, it's been a while since he said anything about Joao Pedro, but he did say something, I think, yesterday about Joao Pedro. But I can't find anything right about now, though. I have to be scrolling through a whole lot of freaking tweets. Okay, so Fabrizio said, Joao Pedro to Newcastle, done deal, and here we go. So, yeah, this Joao Pedro to Everton ain't going. It's not happening. I think that was a Photoshop picture. That might have been a Photoshop picture of him tweeted out there. But he's going to Newcastle. He's not going to Everton. So just forget about that. Everton are interested in a move for Brighton attacker Leandro Trossard. Listen, that's from a day ago. But I'm telling you this. From watching Leandro Trossard, he could play for any one of these big teams, man. I'm telling you. I'll be surprised if Trossard is still a Brighton player next summer or even January. I don't know how he's still at Brighton. I really don't know. He is damn good. I would say I'll sign him at Man City, but I don't think he'll get enough game time at City. But it will be a damn good money ball type signing. You see what I'm saying? Where you look at the stats, you say this player is very effective, and you go in for him. I don't know if he has a release clause or anything, but it's a really, really neat player that any, Champions League or Europa League level club could actually do very, very well with. So if Everton are able to get the signature of Leandro Trossard, I think that would be a great addition. Let's say they sell Anthony Gordon and go in for Trossard. You know what I mean? That'd be a great, great signing, though. So, look, Chelsea and Everton have joined Man United in weighing up moves for Ivan Toney. That's from 2 days ago. The striker is reportedly on prospective target list of all 3 clubs. And that won't be a bad signing, too, but, I don't know if that's going to happen at all. I really, really don't know. So from a couple of days ago, there was also reports that Newcastle, West Ham, Everton, Southampton, and Leicester, along with clubs in Italy and Germany, have shown interest in Man United's midfielder Scott McTominay. So let's say Casemiro comes in and McTominay gets frozen out, permanently out the team. He could look to move on, and clubs are actually having an eye on him. So, look, Everton is set to sign Mohamed Kudus on loan from Ajax with a view to permanent. Ghana International 22 is an attacking midfielder. So, I did run across that one, but I did see reports from Ajax that they're not going to sell the player or something like that. But Fabrizio Romano did report on this 4 days ago. So, let us see if any one of these deals would actually happen. And another deal that we got to talk about that I haven't seen any updates on here. I think if you search about Chelsea, you most see that update is Anthony Gordon and the fact that he could be leaving Everton. So let's talk about Anthony Gordon a little. So update from about, let me see, 8 hours ago from Sky Sports. It is said that Chelsea prepared to pay 60 million, not euros, but pounds, pardon me, for Anthony Gordon. 60 million pounds. And we're going to pull up that article and we're going to take a look at the article briefly when it comes to Anthony Gordon. So Anthony Gordon, Chelsea prepared to pay up to £60 million for Everton forward. Chelsea had an initial bid of around £40 to £45 million turned down by Everton earlier this month, but the club are prepared the club is prepared to increase the offer to £60 million. Everton's position this summer has been the player is not for sale. So look, man. No, I think I read the whole thing there already, but Anthony Gordon, in terms of games, first on the list since the start of last season. He's played the most games for Everton. He scored the fourth most amount of goals, third most chances created, second in terms of duels won, successful crosses third, and total shots third. So he's been quite prolific, and his rise has been nothing short of meteoric. He came to the academy and everything, and now Chelsea wants him. A new contract remains on the table for Gordon, whose current Everton deal expires in June 2025. Frank Lampard needs to add forward options to his squad before the transfer window ends, and potential deal could raise the finances to make that happen. So, even though Everton would be at a disadvantage if they lose Anthony Gordon, they could also use that money to bring in 2 to 3 very effective players that could help Everton out this season, because £60 million, that's a whole lot of loot. Okay? That's a whole lot of money, man. And you could do a lot with that money. You could bring in a new forward. You could go over to the French league and you could do, well, I'm pretty sure they were scouting players already. Go on your target list and make some of these deals happen before deadline day. Tottenham wanted to sign the England under 21 in a package deal with Richarlison for a combined $80 million earlier in the summer, but were not successful. Newcastle made an approach, but did not submit a formal bid. Look at this. Everton, you sold Richarlison, and if you sell Anthony Gordon in the same window, and then you don't take that money and do something significantly important with it by bringing in some quality in the team. And I'm not talking about the defensive acquisitions, because Tarkowski was I think free, Connor Cody on a loan. I'm talking about some quality forwards that's actually going to help bring quality into the team, and you don't have to worry anything about relegation. But look, for Anthony Gordon, I don't think he should go to Chelsea. Me personally, if I'm looking at it from an Everton perspective, because he could help Everton. I don't think Everton need the money that much. I think they need the player more. He knows the landscape. He knows the team, chemistry and everything, and the culture. And to get another player to come in and adapt to that would be very, very difficult. So I think Anthony Gordon should actually stay. But if you look at it from the player's perspective and his development, if he does go on to Chelsea, he plays Champions League football. He gets a raise in pay, potentially. You see what I mean? But in terms of consistent game time, I think that's going to be lacking at Chelsea, because Thomas Tuchel always chopping and changing, and I don't see Anthony Gordon going over there just like a Carney Chukwuemeka did and getting into the 11 and playing every single match. You got to compete with guys like Raheem Sterling and Christian Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi and these guys if they're still there. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's gonna. I think the deal is gonna happen. I think I'm on the fence. I think the deal is gonna happen. Player probably dreams of playing for Chelsea. I think the deal is gonna happen. Chelsea is splashing the cash. They're desperate right about now. But Everton gotta use the money to do something rather significant in helping their season, man. So we're gonna keep it moving, and Look, did we talk about Forest? We haven't even touched on any Forest transfers yet. Any more incomings for Forest? Let us take a look at Forest and their potential transfers, right? Look, I need to get a move on, man. I got a lot of games to talk about, and my wife got to actually head on off for about 1 o'clock. So I got about an hour and 40 minutes, tops. So look, Nottingham Forest are interested in signing Tottenham Hotspur's defender Jaffe Tanganga. Forest understood to be exploring a permanent deal. Spurs have been holding on for 20 million euros, 16.8 million pounds this summer. Milan still interested. Let's see if that one actually happens. You know what I mean? So look, Forest considering taking Tottenham left back Sergio Reguilon on loan as well. Talks between the two clubs in recent weeks as Nottingham Forest seek to cover Omar Richards. Tottenham want full salary covered if 25-year-old goes. He's approaching match fitness as well. So let us see if that one actually goes. Also, another one. Forest in for Wolves' Willy Bally after Steve Cooper confirms Niakate out for months with hamstring injury. And I think we'll leave it right about there. Forest are looking to bolster their squad even more in a quest to stay up after 20, how many years? A 25-year, 24-year absence from the league. I think 23 absence from the league. Guys, let's move on, man. Let's move on. But before we do, big up to everybody in the stream right about now. Make sure you guys smash up the thumbs up button. We do have 25 likes. Guys, you could do better than that. Let's get the likes up to closer to 50, man. You guys could do better than that. If you're watching a replay, make sure you smash the thumbs up button as well. Big up to Very Lame Pitcher in the house. Do y'all think buying up PSG would win every league game this season? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Anthony Gordon will be Toffee Legends. Nah, I don't think so. I think he's leaving. He's leaving. You know what I'm saying? He's leaving. I think he is. So let me see. Palomo in the house. Still BLE. Awesome BLE. Forest are staying up. I do believe they are staying up, but I was kind of skeptical after the blitz of signings that they were actually making. So yeah. So big up to everybody communicating in the chat. Everybody leaving comments. Everybody who have liked the video so far. We got 63 votes in the poll. Whenever this poll hit 100 votes, we'll change it up to another poll. So we got to keep it moving, man. 52 minutes. I've talked about only a handful of games, and we could do a lot better than that when it comes to games. Let's move on to Leicester versus Southampton. We're not going to stay super long on that. We'll touch on the main things that we need to touch on, and then we will move on. So James Maddison in the 54th minute. Look, listen. I've been kind of pondering whether James Maddison would be a good signing for Manchester City, like next summer. Like looking at a potential future replacement for Kevin De Bruyne, right? Because De Bruyne, I think, is 31 these days. He's getting up there. James Maddison is still only 25. Will be 26 just, when the World Cup starts this year. That's not bad, right? If we move on a James Maddison early before another team pick him up, a Newcastle, he's been linked to Newcastle. That could be a game-changing move, right? Get him before Newcastle does, because Newcastle, I believe, will win a league title within the next 7 years if they continue on this trajectory. James Maddison has been prolific. He's been involved in 3 goals so far this season, 2 goals and an assist. And if we go back to last season, the back end of last season, he was doing quite well. In 174 games for Leicester in all competitions, he has 47 goals and 33 assists. That's very promising to me. That's promising. So keep an eye on where James Maddison goes. Let me just put it that way. Keep an eye on where he goes. But you got to give credit here to Southampton. Another comeback. Conceded in the 54th minute, and Che Adams in the 68th and the 84th. He could have scored a hat-trick as well. Bella Kochap there with the assist, and Ward Prowse with the assist in the 84th minute there to give Southampton a well needed win. You got to give credit to Ralph Hasenhüttl. And this is why I say that. The substitution there by bringing on Che Adams, and this has, look at what Ralph Hasenhüttl has done. The previous game, a few substitutions changed the match as well. And in this game, the same thing. Che Adams off the bench, effective. Taking off Sekumara, who was rewarded a start after the brilliant cameo in the previous draw. The move to bring on Lianco in the 88th minute when you needed to defend a 2-1 lead was another good move as well. You see what I'm saying? I had this game, I think, was playing during the goal zone that I was watching, if I'm not mistaken. But Southampton getting the better of Leicester, who dropped 9 on them a few seasons ago, I think back in 2019, is a big result. And I did predict Southampton to get relegated. It might not happen. If Ralph Hasenhüttl continue to make these genius moves, it might not happen. Shoutouts goes to former City youngster Romeo Lavia, who started all 3 games. You could see how highly Hasenhüttl rates him. You could see how highly City rate him by including, I think, a 40 million euro buyback clause in there as well. So if he goes back to City, we got to fork up over 40 mil. You see what I'm saying? James Ward-Prowse having another good game with that assist. Bella Kochap seems like he could be one for the future. We know Salisu is, could have very, very good games, and he's been very promising. It's weird to see Musa Genipo playing as a left fullback, to be honest, but it shows the versatility of the player. If he doesn't work out as an attacker, put him more as a defensive type, player. You see what I mean? And it's been working out. So kudos to Southampton. As for Leicester, man, they're going through a bit of a rut right now. Big time. And there's even been chirps and rumors that Brendan Rodgers could get the sack. I personally don't think Danny Ward is a good enough goalkeeper. I didn't expect Kasper Schmeichel to leave, but he did. I don't think the defense looks good. And with the whole Fofana and Yuri Tillemans saga that's going on over there, it doesn't help the team at all. It hurts the team way more than, it just hurts the team. It hurts the team. I'm not going to say the players are selfish or whatnot, but if teams are coming in for them or they want to move, let them go. Let them go. They want to leave, let them go. Cash in, sign fresh players. That's the best you could do. But this defense needs to be bulked up. And they do have options on the bench, and I don't know why Daniel Amate is being persisted with. And you have Soyuncu and you have Vestergaard on the bench. Both players, Vestergaard and Soyuncu, have not been in good form, but still. I think Ricardo Pereira is a big miss from that team as well. Harvey Barnes coming back from injury. Ayoze Perez getting a rare start, I think, because that's his stats against Southampton is very, very good. Ndidi has been a bit quiet. Jamie Vardy coming off early. I think he recently signed a new contract. Leicester has to sign new players, man. They got to sign new players. Well, Tillemans actually came off the bench, but just to correct myself there, I didn't even realize that he came off the bench. But Fofana, the Fofana saga could be a problem. If they lose Fofana, that could be a problem. But if you look around their team, man, it needs a refresh, man. Albrighton's still playing. Nampolas Mendy is still there. You see what I mean? I think they need a better goalkeeper, and they need to just sign some new quality players. There's positions that they could improve on, in my opinion. Once they lose Fofana, a new defender is definitely needed. That's definitely needed, though. So look, Daka, he was signed last season, but it hasn't really worked out too much and Sumare, when you think about it, hasn't really worked out. So Leicester going through a bit of a identity crisis. Let's say that. more of an identity crisis right about now. But good win for Southampton. I'm not going to draw this on any longer. Bazunu, big up to Bazunu as well. You know, former City youngster as well. I want to see him do well. And if you look at the possession, Leicester with 62%. But it was Southampton with 9 shots, 3 on target, coming out victors. Massive 3 points for Hassan Hooter and his boys to take their tally up to 4. They do have 4 points with on 11th right about now. So they got to just keep picking these points up. Just keep picking up these points and they'll be all right. In terms of the next game, they would actually play today against Cambridge United in the EFL Cup and on the weekend against a resurgent Manchester United. As for Leicester, you got to go down to 19th in the table where they only have a solitary point. And their match today would be against Stockport in the EFL Cup. Then they face Chelsea on the weekend. Then they got Manchester United. It could get very, very ugly for Leicester. Or they are a team capable of beating both United and Chelsea, but they're not in very good form right now. And they could, Brendan Rodgers could get the sack very soon. Sometimes when these rumors, well, I should say most of the time when you hear these rumors, they're true. They're true. They just don't, rumors just don't come out like that. They just and if you look at the teams that they play next, it ain't looking good for Rodgers. It ain't looking good for Leicester at all. But at the end of the day, when you think about it, maybe that's what they need. A bit of a refresh. New mentality coming into the setup. You see what I mean? Seeing things from a different perspective. So let's keep an eye on that whole Brendan Rodgers story there. So in terms of any updates here, in terms of transfers, let's take a look at Leicester and see if we have anything to share with you guys. And let me see what we got here. We definitely will have something. And it is expected that Leicester will drop their price for Tielemans ahead of the last week of the transfer window, with Arsenal the most interested team. The player is calm and knows he is in a strong position to get a move. So keep an eye on the Yuri Tielemans situation and him possibly moving to the Gunners. So Crystal Palace interested in Boubacar Soumaré. I did mention that already. So let's see if that one actually happened as well. And coming in from the Athletic, struggling Leicester could soften stance on Fofana move to Chelsea. And that's from 2 days ago. So Fofana wasn't involved in the game against Southampton, and it was said that the player was given the time off so that because he's not fully focused, right? Because he can't concentrate because of that potential move to Chelsea. You know what I mean? Big money move to Chelsea. He's going to be playing Champions League football. He's going to be, you know what I mean, playing with around more quality players and everything, a more prestigious club. And he's just excited about the move. He said that it's his dream move. And Leicester doesn't want to sell him. You could understand Leicester's standpoint, right? They did the hard work. They did the scouting. And then all of a sudden, here comes Chelsea not having defenders and wanting their player. You could understand that, right? And it's kind of unfair to the smaller teams, but it's just part of the game. Leicester now have to take that huge chunk of money and go back out. Go out to France and bring in not one, but 2 of these quality young defenders. You see what I mean? And then you'll be the one that'll be laughing. Because Fofana might go to Chelsea, it might not work out, and then you'll be there with the big fat chunk that you spent on 2 players, maybe for 40 million combined, and you have the rest of the money in the bank to help develop, you know, future players, put into the academy and all of that, or whatever. You see, so you have to look at the silver lining when it comes to a lot of these situations, though, you know what I mean? So, look, that'll be it for Leicester in terms of Southampton. Are there any other players they're interested in? I heard that my boy Doug did tell me that Southampton are interested in signing Mario Balotelli. I don't know how true that one is. I didn't run across anything like that. And yeah, I haven't seen anything. But look, Aston Villa makes Southampton approach over Jan Bednarek after Diego Carlos' injury. So look, I didn't see this pop up on the Aston Villa chat when we spoke about it, but there's also some news about Jan Bednarek potentially going to Aston Villa. So let's see if that one actually happened. So, look, there's also been news that Turkish club Göztepe has been purchased by the owners of Southampton. And I think the owners of Southampton are Serbian. Serbian billionaire, I think, owns Southampton the last time I checked. So let me see. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, okay. There's another one. There's another one from 6 days ago that I missed. And how did I miss this? Southampton have held talks with Benfica over £25 million deal for Gonçalo Ramos. Meeting thought to have been taking place in Denmark ahead of Benfica's Champions League game against Midtjylland last week. So, look, Gonçalo Ramos was linked to Newcastle, but seems that Newcastle have moved on from that and, are going to sign João Pedro. But let us see if Southampton do manage to get Gonçalo Ramos, who's been in fine form for Benfica in the Champions League qualifiers. So, with that being said, guys, we are going to keep it moving. Let's move on to the next game. Let's talk Tottenham 1, Wolves 0. But before we do, big up to everybody watching the stream right about now. We are going to talk about Liverpool, Man United. We're going to talk City, Newcastle. We're going to talk Chelsea, Leeds. We're going to talk Arsenal, Bournemouth as well. We got some big games still left to talk about. And, we got to talk Brighton, West Ham. We're only halfway through. We're not doing well in terms of time at all. We're not doing well. Big up to Mr. Yarn in the house. Newcastle on a rise. Big up to you. What else we got? Very lame picture. Maybe Rodgers could replace Stephen G at Villa in a few months. Let us see what happens with that, though. Paloma, Leicester has to take advantage of dominating. Indeed, indeed. So Foxy is dead after selling few star seasons ago. Yeah, they sell their best players. It's hard to, but you can't blame them. It's hard to actually keep hold of your better players, though. It's really, really, really hard. So Mr. Yarn is saying sometimes it's not about possession, it's just about shot accuracy, because at the end of the day, all that matters is a scoreboard. So Sebastian is asking, Dom, are you fine if I join when I talk about Liverpool? Sebastian is a one-man show right now, bro. I appreciate your enthusiasm and all, but I'm doing this by myself right about now. So if you want more, if you want to qualify more, I suggest you start your own channel and show me what you got, bro. Start your own channel if you're so interested in coming on. And I know you go on Mike and other channels and stuff, AD and maybe other channels, but you need to start your own channel and get those credentials up, bro. So let me see what else you guys are saying here. Matata is saying Rodgers will replace Klopp or Gerrard. I don't know about Klopp. Rodgers was at Liverpool before, bro. Don't forget that. Don't forget. So, Angel, Tottenham are not good to watch. They are a good team to watch. What you mean? Tottenham are a very entertaining team to watch these days under Antonio Conte. They are. They are. They could have some games where they allow you to have the ball and all, but they are a good team to watch, I think. And in this game, Tottenham won, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. This was a very frustrating game to watch, however. But Tottenham, did grow in the game, and when the opportunity presented itself to Harry Kane with Perisic again being the provider, he put it away for the game's only goal. I did tune into this match, but to be honest, this game is a blur to me. I probably need to go back and watch over the highlights again. But this game was indeed a blur. And yet another game where Son Heung-min didn't score. Could see Richarlison coming on for him. Richarlison doesn't look too pleased coming off the bench, but he has to bide his time and be patient, But a player that has definitely hit the ground running is Ivan Perisic, the Croatian international. An assist against Chelsea there for the winning goal. And I think he did pick up the assist for the game, right, against Chelsea. But he was a menace, man. He was a menace when he came on. And once you get Perisic in this team, it's going to be very, very difficult to get him out. I'm telling you this. Unless, there's going to be a little bit of rotation within the setup with Sessegnon going to get a run out, and maybe Reguilon in the future if he's still at the club. Maybe Ben Davies will play a left back position sometimes. But it's going to be difficult to get Perisic out the team. Look, this Tottenham team looks good. I'm telling you. And we know this. This is not an understatement here. The front line of Son, Kane, and Kulusevski, We know the potential of this front line. Even though Son has started out slowly, I think he's still picked up an assist so far this season. Bentancur is quietly doing his thing alongside Hybia in the midfield, Emerson Royal and Perisic swashbuckling fullbacks. The defense, you could see some rotation there where Davinson Sanchez came in for Romero and Eric Dyer and Ben Davies are looking like world-class players these days, man. I'm telling you. Not saying that they're world-class. I'm just saying. But I think Romero had a bit of a injury problem there. He did pick up a yellow in the last game, but he didn't feature on the bench. Bissouma came off the bench. Newman, Bissouma, Richarlison, and Sessegnon. Tanganga could be on his way out. Longley was said to be an injury doubt for the game, but you could see him featuring on the bench there. Brian Hill is set to join Valencia on loan, and Lucas Moura is playing a bit part role this season. As for Wolves, their problem is goal scoring. That's their problem. They have some very good games, but they just can't seem to get the ball in the back of the net. You see what I mean? Defensively, they are very sound, bringing in Nathan Collins from Burnley. You could see Kilman there, and they're moving on Connor Cody. Willie Bolly is not featured. Bruno Lage is still trying to put his signature over the team, right? And have the team looking more like his team than a Nuno Espirito Santo team. Ryan Aït-Nouri, I think, is a very good player, but he's very error prone. He give the ball away. He give away penalties, and maybe he could rethink using Ryan Aït-Nouri as the left fullback. And that might be a bit harsh, but I think that could be a change that Bruno Lage could make in the future. Look, Pedro Neto is being linked with a move to Arsenal, and I'm not surprised at all because he's a peach of a player. Ruben Neves has been linked with a move out as well, but who knows, he might end up staying on. Mateus Nunes, he looked good in the game, had a couple chances along with Gonzalo Guedes. You could see the Portuguese contingent here. 6 of them from the start there. I think it's all 7 in total started. I think that's the record for the most players from one team to start a Premier League match, I think. And I think that who has the record? It might be Wolves as well. It might as well. Look, listen to me. Might as well just play Nelson Semedo. Okay? Play Semedo for Ryan Aït-Nouri. Right? Play him. And play Tati Gomez for one of the other center backs, like maybe for Johnny or somebody. Play all Portuguese players. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and play all Portuguese players in the team, man. Just go ahead and do that. But they're struggling to score. Raul Jimenez did come off the bench for his first run out, 59-minute. Hwang Hee-chan, Adama Traore, and still they couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, man. So, that's where Wolves are struggling so far this season with their goal scoring. But look, they've signed Guedes. Guedes is not a prolific goal scorer. He's not. Neither is Podence. Mateus Nunes is a good addition, but, you're going to wait and see what he does. He's an attacking midfielder. He doesn't score a ton of goals, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? If they wanted a ton of goals or more of a goal-scoring threat, they should have gone in for Pedro Gonçalves. And who knows? That deal might happen too. You never know before the transfer window is over. He's another Portuguese player from Sporting. So, look, go to win for Spurs. It was another hard-fought battle like the one against Chelsea. But they've started the season very, very strongly on 7 points, unbeaten so far, just as Arsenal, just as Man City, and I think another unbeaten team on Newcastle United. Brighton might be unbeaten as well this season with 7 points. So another unbeaten team is also Fulham. So not bad at all. Not bad. There's 7 unbeaten teams in the league so far? Not bad at all. Not bad for those teams. And for Spurs to be amongst that, is just showing that they're going to be very, very competitive this season. Kudos to Antonio Conte and his tactics and his strategies. They've been working, and it's nice to see that there's stiff competition this season for the league title. Don't know how long it will be sustained for, but let's see. Look, Wolves are in the relegation zone right now in 18th. 2 losses and 1 draw so far. They have to pick things up. They didn't start too well last season, and they really bounced back to finish strongly at the end of the season. So let's see if they replicate that again. But time waits for no man. They need to get a move on when it comes to that. So look, I'm not gonna linger too much more on this fixture. So for Wolves, they do play today at home against Preston in the EFL Cup. Then they do have Newcastle on the weekend in the Premier League. As for Tottenham, who, well, I did forget to mention Leeds United are also unbeaten. So sorry, Leeds fans. But Tottenham are in fourth right now, 7 points. The next game will be against Forest. They do not have a second round game in the EFL Cup. They will come into the third round, I think. And they do play Forest in their next game on the road. So let us see how that one works out for Spurs. Most likely another win for Spurs, though. But I don't think they're going to lose a game against Forest right about now. That won't send the right message whatsoever. So, look, in terms of some transfer updates for these teams, let's take a look at Spurs and see if we get anything, you know, anything new. We did talk about Tanganga. We did talk about Regayon. And I think that's about it. I don't think we have anything else to add when it comes to Spurs, though. Look, one thing we do have to add is that Tanguy and Ndombele have joined Napoli on loan, right? Napoli had to pay €1 million for the loan fee, and there's been a €30 million option to buy as well. So I think that's the only really new update we do have. And I actually spoke about the other players that's been linked with a move out as well. Also, there's been no updates on Harry Winks and his situation, whether he would remain a Tottenham player at the end of the transfer window. So just looking to make sure I don't miss anything else. We did talk about Brian Hill as well. He could be leaving for Valencia very, very soon. So I think that's about it. That's about it when it comes to Tottenham. They've done a lot of transfer business. I think they've one of the teams that's are high up there in terms of having a very, very good transfer window. As for Wolves, right? As for Wolves, could there be more players coming in? We did talk about Pedro Neto and his potential move to Arsenal, right? For Pedro Neto, interest of other clubs makes Mimo hungry. That's what he said, right? So look, Wolves have been linked, right? I did run into this one on Twitter and I did retweet this one. They've been linked to Stuttgart, big, lanky, very, very tall striker, Sasha Kalajic. And verbal agreement between the player and Wanderers in principle. Stuttgart wants €25 million. Wolves wants to finalize the deal in the next few days. And to be honest, I don't like that move, man. Look, I don't like that move. Kalajic, I don't know how he'll do in the league, but it have to be like a type of cross into the box, getting him on the end of headers and back against the wall type, back against the play, hold up play, put it on for other players type move. The whole Fabio what's his name, man? Fabio Silva thing didn't work out. He went out on loan, I think, to Anderlecht. So Wolves are struggling to find a quality goal scorer, man. So they did actually sell on Morgan Gibbs White for £35 million and did bring in Matheus Nunes. So they're doing some good business, but they need a quality striker because Raul Jimenez is not the man again, to be completely honest, man. He's a shadow of the old Raul Jimenez. So with that being said, big up to everybody in the stream. Appreciate you guys tuning in for yet another one. We are going to move on to the next one. We still have to talk Chelsea, Leeds. We got to talk Liverpool. We got to talk Man City and Arsenal. We still got a lot to go, though. We definitely still got a lot to go. So big up to Claude Murphy in the house, Mr. Yon, everybody in here right about now. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button for the stream. All right, so it's 11:50 a.m. local time. We've been live for an hour, 18 minutes, and we have to get a move on, though. We definitely have to get a move on. So we talked about Tottenham Wolves, Crystal Palace Villa, Everton Forest, Fulham Brentford, Leicester Southampton, and we have 4 games to go. Let's go. Let's get these out the way, man. Let's get them out the way. Guess we'll use the next 45 minutes or so to talk about these games. And the fact that I've spoke about the Liverpool Man United game, the City Newcastle already, we don't need to spend a super, super, super long on them, but we're still going to, go through each and every game, though. So Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3. And this one was one of the most predictable games, to be honest. And Arsenal just run riot early on in the match. 5th minute goal by Martin Odegaard, and the work that Jesus put in early on in the game, man, going around about 4 to 5 players, absolutely ridiculous. Martin Odegaard scoring a brace in the first 11 minutes of the game. It just shows Arsenal's strength and depth in terms of their goal scoring options. And William Saliba to put in that 54th minute left footed shot, man. I thought it was actually Granit Xhaka. I think the commentator actually thought it was Granit Xhaka, and it's not until Saliba was actually celebrating that he said, "Oh, shoot, it's Saliba." One thing I have to say though, before I do move on, that William Saliba song is very, very annoying, man. And the fact that the stadium is very small and you was actually hearing the song the entire time, it was so, so, so annoying, man. It was super annoying. And I don't look forward to Arsenal games right about now because of that chant. Seriously, that chant just irks me. It irks me big time. You know what I mean? So yeah, that Williams, they need to stop. They really, really need to stop, though. They really, really need to stop. So you know, let's talk Arsenal and the chances of winning the Premier League this season, because they're the only perfect team so far in the league with 3 matches and 3 wins. Mikel Arteta is doing his thing. Look at his face. He's proud of his boys, and they're perfect, man. They're perfect, and this is unbelievable. This is absolutely unbelievable here that the Gunners are on top of the league. I know it's only 3 games in, but remember last year they actually went through the entire August without scoring a goal or winning a game. They didn't pick up any points last year, and they still ended up finishing a respectable. What did they finish? 5th place, only 2 points behind Tottenham for a Champions League spot. So not bad at all if you ask me. So if Arsenal continues like this, they win the league. It's that simple. They win the league, but it's easier said than done. Very, very easier said than done. It's like saying Erling Haaland has 3 goals and he's going to have 38 goals by the end of the season. You see what I mean? We could say that, but that's not mean it's going to happen. We could say Gabriel Jesus is going to get 25 goals this season. He might go through a slump. You see what I mean? So, but great start by Arsenal this season, man. Really, really good start. Look at the team, right? The team is settled. Ramsdale is going to be number 1 for sure. No doubt about that. Leno has left the club. Ben White at right back is questionable, but he has held down his spot where Arteta is letting White play about 75 to 80 minutes and bringing on Tomiyasu for the last, bit of the game. I think Tomiyasu would actually feature in the Europa League and the cup matches and, give Ben White a little rest because he's definitely very injury prone. But Gabriel and Saliba has formed a very good partnership at the back there. And Zinchenko at left back ahead of Kieran Tierney is another move that, is looking very, very genius by Arteta because Zinchenko is working out, man. Zinchenko looked twice the player he was at Man City. And he did look very good at Man City, though. But he looked really, really good at Arsenal, man. So that's another genius move there by Arteta. Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka ahead of the defenders makes them even better, with Saka, Odegaard, and Martinelli providing that constant goal threat. And Jesus has just been a revelation at Arsenal, a shadow of the player he was at Manchester City, though, where he's given a license to just go out there and dribble and do his thing and express himself. So all the best to Jesus. I hope he continues to do well. So you look out on the bench there, Tierney coming off the bench, Takehiro Tomiyasu, Smith Rowe an option off the benches. You can't go wrong with that. Albert Sambi-Lokanga, linked with a move away from the club. Eddie and Nketiah getting some game time. I like that, that he's getting 15 plus minutes. Cup game, he should start. That odd game, I think Arteta should throw him in, put Jesus out wide sometimes, just to keep the squad chemistry and the unity going, man, and keep the players happy. and at the same time not weakening the team. We will soon see Fabio Vieira. I think maybe when the cup games come around, and Arsenal would only continue to grow strength by strength, man. Matt Turner should get his Arsenal debut, sooner rather than later, maybe in the Europa League or one of them cup matches. Rob Holding could stay, or he could be on his way out to another club. As for Bournemouth, man, look, when are they going to actually say, hey, Neto was brought in from Barcelona. He is a more, established keeper than Mark Travers. Put him into the team. When are we actually going to see that happen? When? Are we going to see that happen? Are we going to see Scott Parker do what Marco Silva did by, let's say, him bringing in Marco Silva, bringing in Neto, and actually saying, Rodak, chill out. I brought in this more quality keeper. We're gonna see that happening. Moves like this gotta be made. You see what I'm saying? If you are to improve and survive the drop. So, some questionable decisions here by Scott Parker so far. But to be fair to them, it was a tough run of fixtures. City, Arsenal, and Liverpool coming up next. You see, so Bournemouth would want to use Liverpool's vulnerability right about now and get something against them. And if that does happen, Liverpool could well kiss winning the league goodbye if that ends up happening. You see what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about Bournemouth. You know what I'm saying? I did predict them to get relegated, and it seems like it might actually happen judging from the way they started and the quality of players in the squad. They did bring in Marcos Senesi, but he came off at halftime. I have to look into whether that was an injury or not, but it might have been more tactical to the point where, Scott Parker said, hey, man, we're losing the game already. What am I having this guy on the field for? You see what I'm saying? Why? Why is he still on the field? Take him off, before he gets injured or something. Maybe that was a thinking behind that, but I have to actually see if he was injured when he got taken off. So that wasn't actually an injury. So that was not an injury. That was not an injury. It was just tactical, But I think they're actually missing. I think they're missing Dominic Solanke. Solanke, I think, would add a bit more threat to their attack. And with him out injured, it really doesn't help, man. It really, really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Their team look light. I just want to say they look light. Options off the bench, light. Jaden Anthony, I like that, he was brought on. He's a prospective player, but they look light, man. You are not going to survive the Premier League with this team. Let me just put it out there. You are not. Something has to be done. Something. And it got to be done within the next, 8 days or so. Signings got to be made. Get some players in on loan, man. You know what I mean? Get some out of favor Premier League players in on loan. You gotta make some kind of move. Do something before something do you. But look, good win for the Gunners. Didn't expect anything, other than an Arsenal win. And they're on the top of the table right now. Perfect 9 points. So in terms of Arsenal, their next game is a London derby against Fulham, a game that they are expected to win, followed by another home game against Aston Villa. So for Bournemouth, they're 15th in the league right now on 3 points. They could probably boast and say they have more points than Liverpool, Everton, or even a Leicester and West Ham right about now. But still, it doesn't really, mean anything. It's still early on in the season. They play Norwich today in the EFL Cup game. And seeing that it's Tuesday, they have a game on Saturday. They would want to stay in the cup. So, but still, at the same time, you don't want to exhaust yourself before you play Liverpool at Anfield, where they are needing to come back from a loss. So it's going to be tricky how Bournemouth approach this Carabao Cup fixture. So in terms of some transfer updates, let me see if Bournemouth are actually linked to bringing in any new players. Let's take a look at that and see if there's any movement coming into Bournemouth. So as I mentioned, Bournemouth are interested in signing Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I don't think he will actually help them. I really don't think so. So AZ Alkmaar have turned down bids for around 50 million pound euros for Jesper Karlsson from both Celta Vigo and Bournemouth. They don't want to sell. David Brooks have signed a new contract for Bournemouth as well. So let's take a look. Brooks have not been involved. He's another player that could help Bournemouth when he's fit again as well. So let's keep an eye on the whole Davy Brooks situation and his injury problem. But that's about it in terms of them. They have been linked recently to Blackburn striker Ben Brereton Diaz, the Chilean international. Don't know how much he'll help them if he come up to the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? Because look, he's a championship striker. He's been doing well, and he's also been linked with a move to the French league, and he's been linked to the move to Everton as well. So if I'm Ben Brereton, I don't know. He might actually stay in England, but I think the French league would be a better move for him, though. I think he will be very prolific there, and it will be a lot better for his career. As for Arsenal, we know they're linked to Pedro Neto of Wolves. We know they're linked to Yuri Tillemans as well. Are there any more links to Arsenal right about now? Also, Arsenal, it's been said that Arsenal are also showing up on UEFA's FFP, like what do you call it, financial fair play radar for the transfer business. So Arsenal say they all good when it comes to that, but let us see. Let us see what happens there in terms of that. So let's see if they do get Pedro Neto. Let's see if they get Yuri Tillemans. If they actually manage to acquire these players, oh man, I think Arsenal will be challenging for the title this season. I know it's a bold claim. They started well, but if they bolster their team, they could only get better. Guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. Do appreciate everybody who's joined. We got 87 votes in the poll. Where you guys think Liverpool would finish this season? Outside the top four, 29%. Third, 31%. Second, 28%. And guys, 87% of you don't think that Liverpool are winning the title, judging from the way they started this season. 13% still think Liverpool's are going to be champions. So let us move on to the next game, and it's the game between West Ham and Brighton and Hove Albion. But in the meantime, big up to FB7 Games. Big up to the boy Steve in the house. Thank you for coming through, Steve. Bournemouth should look at getting someone like Cole Palmer on loan. No, we don't want to. We want Cole Palmer to stay in the team, though. Steve is also saying, I actually think Bournemouth have enough to survive. It's happened before. That is true, but it's a different league right now, bro. It's a bit more competitive, I think. It's a bit more competitive. I don't see Bournemouth staying up. Sorry. I don't see them staying up. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. So Steve is coming in with some negativity here for Arsenal. He's also saying once Jesus gets hurt or suspended, Arsenal will look a different side. I'm not convinced by them. Ooh. Oh boy. Mr. Yarn. Jesus is so good and seemingly no big ego on him too. He assisted on one of those goals against Bournemouth and as excited as if he scored the goal himself. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Angel, Arsenal are good to watch, Dom. They're offensive minded. Indeed, indeed. Another good comment there. So, big up to Michael Talks Football who's saying Arsenal have been balling. October is going to be a real test. Oh, all right, all right. Let's see if that one actually happening. Let's see if that one is actually going to happen. And Mike coming in with a big claim there about Arsenal. So, let us move on, though. West Ham 0. Brighton and Hove Albion 2. And this is not a great start at all. And that's an understatement, if you ask me, where West Ham have not scored a single goal in the Premier League this season and have lost all 3 matches. It ain't looking good for David Moyes, man. The pressure is piling up. I know he did well. I know they're in the Europa League playoffs and they defeated Viborg last week 3-1 and are in pole position to qualify for the Conference League group stages. But if they don't start picking up points in the league, the sack could be incoming. The sack could be incoming. These Premier League clubs don't play when it comes to sacking their managers, okay? Doesn't matter what you did last season. They don't care. Alexis McAllister from the penalty spot in the 22nd minute. Alexis, look, I got to say this about Bournemouth. Not Bournemouth, Brighton. Both South Coast teams anyways. But they have some players that they are not going to be able to keep a hold of in the future. Adam Webster looked like a player that could stick around. Lewis Dunk was linked to Arsenal before. Veltman is a man that I think could stick around because he's coming in from Ajax where he spent a long time. Solly March is a player I actually used to admire, but I think Brighton need to move on from Solly March. I do think they need. I don't think Solly March has progressed at all. Did show some bright spots in the earlier stages when Brighton got promoted to the league, but he has not improved whatsoever though. Seriously. And I think he should be dropped. I don't think Solly March should be playing ahead of Tariq Lamptey. Put whether Solly March is playing over on the left or whatever, put Lamptey in the team, bro. Seriously. March 7, he's actually playing as a right wing back. Why is that? And where's Lamptey? Lamptey on the bench. I don't get that. I don't get it. I really don't get it. You gotta drop him. But they're winning, so it might not actually happen. Alexis McAllister won't be a Brighton player for a very long time. Leandro Trossard as well. Nor would Moses Caicedo. Gross, I see, could stick around until he decides to maybe go back and play in Germany. Lallana, stick around. He did his thing at Liverpool and Southampton before, and so will Welbeck, right? These players could stick around and form the core of the team for future seasons to come, but they won't be able to keep a hold on a lot of these players. Players like Estupinian just acquired, but picked up an assist, I think, in this game. No, he didn't. He wasn't credited, but he was really good in the game when he came off the bench. So Estupinian, great signing. Mwepu, he looked good last season. Came in from Salzburg. You know, Mupé's on the way. I actually thought the Mupé deal was done already. So I'm surprised to actually see him. And you know, he I think will move. He I think won't be a Brighton player this season because the amount of chances he missed. I know he scored about 25 to 26 goals, and he's probably Brighton's record scorer in the league, in the Premier League. But look, has not been good enough. Look, I got a special guest coming on for you guys, man. And if you guys could take a guess for who's coming on. Let me see if you guys could guess who's coming on, man. I have a special guest for you. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know who you think is coming on. All right, I'll give you guys a minute. I'll give the guest a minute to smile a bit in the background and see if anybody would actually get him get him correct. Steve is saying Solly March is class, more goals and assists, and he wouldn't look out of place in the top 6 side. I do not agree with you when it comes to that. I don't agree with you. So we have Dane saying Ryan LFC. Nah, you're wrong. Steve, I do agree with that one. Estupinian is definitely class. I do. So Angel is saying West Ham are the worst team to watch in the Premier League now. Burnley have gone. You're talking about this season, right? You're talking about this season, but they're just off to a slow start, man. Come on, let's give West Ham a break. We seem to forget what West Ham did last season, and you know, with picking up big victories against Liverpool, and I can't remember who they beat, everybody who they beat, but they were destroying the big teams last season. So let me bring the guest on so he could finish off this Brighton West Ham game, and then we actually going to get on to the big ones, the Chelsea, Leeds, the City, Newcastle, and the Liverpool, Man United to finish things off today. So Palomo is saying Michael talks football, and Palomo, you are absolutely right. Big up to you, Mike. How are you feeling?
Big up, Dom. Been a while, man. Been a while.
It's been
Now
a
you
long.
bring me so now you bring me on when Liverpool are doing bad. I see what you're doing.
Oh
Okay.
no.
I see what you're doing.
Nah. You just
Big up,
popped
bro.
up in you popped up in the chat, and I say, you know what? It would be a good idea to just have a fresh perspective on. You know what I'm saying? I had about 50 people in here, and it just dropped down because people was probably getting bored of me. So I say, you know what, man? Let me get somebody else to come in to give a fresh perspective, because maybe people saying, "Damn, you're talking a lot of smack about Liverpool right about now," and I don't want to
I'll,
hear you. I don't want to hear
I'll,
you
I'll
right
I'll do
now.
the same thing, Dom. Don't worry. Liverpool deserve no respect at the moment with the way we're playing. But yeah,
But yeah, man, Mike, you and I definitely got to link up to do some World Cup content, and you
only two
guys will
more
be
months
see.
away.
Yep,
Two and a half more months.
you guys will be seeing a lot of Michael talks football on the channel. For some World Cup discussion and some Premier League and Champions League discussion. Hopefully in the future. So, Mike, what are your thoughts on West Ham, man? No points, no goals this season.
Oh, I'm a little bit worried for them. The problem with West Ham is I don't know if there's the urgency from the players anymore. Is there that drive anymore, right? They made it to Europe. They made it deep run to the semifinals. I don't know. Is there that drive anymore to do better for this side? It's kind of stale, right? Declan Rice, Soucek, they're okay players, but they're not going to take you to the next step if you're West Ham. I think what they got to do is for David Moyes, they got to start Skamaka and Cornet. I think it's vital now. I don't think Antonio can be. He can be a good player off the bench and bring the physicality, but striker, I don't think he's that guy anymore. And I think Corday, you could see, at least in the conference league, I think it was against Viborg, he was electric. So I think David Moyes got to make some changes because this team, they are not playing good at all. And they got booed off at halftime, I believe, at the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, it's a very uncharacteristic start by West Ham, seeing how well they did last season. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And we know they have a lot of quality in their team, but as you mentioned, they could be a little stale. So what
Yep.
David Morris could do to refresh things is give the new players the start, bringing in Maxwell Corner with it. He got a lot of electricity on the wings. Skamaka have that goal threat and that feistiness. You know what I mean? you
Yep.
know just make some changes. Even, who knows, maybe Alphonse Areola from the start, maybe just as a change. Maybe he might not do that, seeing that Areola had that incident against Man City. But the Antonio is struggling. If he's struggling, right, give him some time in the Europa League, in the cups, let him build his confidence back up. You see what I mean? And even Jared Bowen, these guys have not hit the ground running. You could say that luck haven't gone their way as well. With
Yeah, especially against
Tilo,
Nottingham
yeah,
Forest.
look, Tilo Kehrer coming into this game as well. Look, and giving away a penalty in his first match. That won't do good for his confidence whatsoever. You know what I mean? So, the
What do
record
you
against, huh?
What do you make of them signing Emerson Palmieri from Chelsea? Do you think they need
Well,
another left back instead of Cresswell, or what do you make of that signing?
remember Ben Johnson is also a left back too. You know what I mean?
That is true.
But I think bringing in Palmieri could be a replacement for a player like Ryan Fredericks, who left the club.
Yeah.
And remember, Issa Diop left the club as well. So Tilo Kehrer and Emerson coming in would provide that cover. And Emerson, knowing the Premier League and him playing around Europe already would definitely be a good addition. So I'm not saying he's the best player, but Emerson, I think, is a decent signing. He could actually work out.
Yeah. Plus, they got
And
to deal with the Conference League again. Well, of course,
exactly,
if they
exactly.
go through on Thursday, unless some madness happens in Denmark,
Yeah.
but they're gonna have to deal with Thursday and Sunday again. So I think David
They'll
Moyes is prepared for that.
yeah, they'll
But
go
their
through.
Premier League form has not been good whatsoever.
Exactly, exactly. So look, Brighton, they're a team that started well last season, and it seems like they're doing the same again, man. They have an immaculate record against West Ham, where they have
Yep.
never lost since they got promoted against the Hammers. So they're continuing that trend by picking up not only like getting a draw, but actually beating West Ham, man. And look, the scouts at Brighton, very good, man. The
Tier
signings that
one.
they're making, exactly, bringing in Estupinian, who I think is actually a better left back than Cucurella. It might be a bold statement, but you guys would
Ooh.
actually see exactly what I'm talking about. You will
Yeah,
see
Estopinian is class. He's such a good left back.
exactly.
I can't believe
You
they
guys
got him.
you guys would see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. And just replacing these players after they make, they make these sales, like, Ease Bisuma, the whole Cucurella deal. these are some big players that left their club in terms of the way they performed and helped them for the last season. And they replaced them by, snap of a finger and still doing well. So you got to give a lot of credit to
I
Brighton.
mean, Graham Potter's he's just a great manager. And you know what's even more funny, Dom? He didn't even learn how to manage in England. He learned all of it in Sweden with Östersund, from the third
Yeah,
division all the way to the Europa League with that side. He just knows how to build a side. He has his style of play. He does it doesn't matter if a player leaves, like the two best players last season, they just pick from another league, they put it into their squad, and they still look great. And I mean,
exactly.
Graham Potter, look, eventually he's going to leave Brighton, and I hope he stays there for a long time, and I hope they can make European football because I think they fully deserve it for the way they're playing and the scouting they do, and also the link up that they have with the Belgian side Royal Union Saint Gilloise because the owner owns the both of the clubs. So they have a Japanese player called Mitomo, and
Yeah.
he was very good for Royal Union Saint Gilloise. So watch out for him this season. And now
But
with
Mitoma, Mitoma, Mitoma was there on loan, I think, too, right?
yeah. So him
Yeah.
and Undov, they were both there on loan. Basically, they used that as their sister club. They loaned the player, kind of like City with Troyes and
Yeah,
Girona
yeah.
and these sort of teams. So watch out for then. I bet Trossard is going to take then Lalana's spot, and then they're going to play Estopinian as the left wing back. I think that's what they're going to do here because Lalana, look, he's old and he can just bring some leadership off the bench. So I like Brighton. It's just a matter of can they keep this up for the whole season because we saw last year they started off great, then they fell
Yeah,
off, picked up some
exactly.
form at the end, and had a top 10 finish. So let's see if they can keep it for the whole season up.
But look, they had their record finish last season, 51
Mm-hmm.
points. Let's see if they could get more points than that. I'm not predicting them to do as great as they did last season, but it's only left to be seen. Look, let me say this right now, man. Let me say this right now. Graham Potter just need to shave his head, and when Pep leaves, if Pep leaves next season, shave his head bald and join Man City, and I'm good. And I'm good.
Damn.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
No, I'll take Graham Potter. I'll seriously take Graham Potter. He's proven himself that he, knows how to handle himself in the league and everything. And, if you give him a budget, like a city budget, God knows
Yeah.
what he could do, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So big up to everybody in the house. Dupe, nice seeing you around here. Steve in the house still. Palomo, Sebastian. We have Alista Francis. Everybody in here. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button if you're yet to do that. Mike, thanks for joining me. We're gonna keep it moving. And before we actually do move on, I have this thing that I've been doing by bringing up some transfer news and things, give the people, as much information as possible. Because when you're watching a replay of these reviews, you know what I mean, it's nice to, you ever watch a podcast and you never want it to end? You just
Yep.
love that it keeps going on and on. So I love giving the people as much information as possible, you know what I mean, so that they could say, oh, okay, if it wasn't for Dom, I would have never known that such and such would have been happening. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's why I tend to give so much information. So Brighton, who are unbeaten this season, they're fifth in terms of their next game. They will play Forest Green Rovers tomorrow in the EFL Cup. Then they take on Leeds United on Saturday in a game I think they could actually win. So their next, let me hear this, right? This is Brighton's next 5 fixtures: Leeds, Fulham, Leicester, Bournemouth, and Crystal Palace. I could see them getting a lot of points.
They can get 3 wins out of those 5.
Exactly. But then they do have, the Liverpool and the Tottenhams coming up after that. But that's in October. You know what I mean? So let us see how it works out with Brighton and Hove Albion. As for West Ham United, who needs to get a move on, they're at bottom of the table, -5 goal difference, haven't scored any goals, no points yet. They do play Viborg coming up this Thursday, and they'll need to be very, very careful in the 11 that they put out there because they're coming up against Aston Villa, who needs to bounce back. And then they do have Tottenham, they do have Chelsea, they do have Newcastle. It's going to just get more difficult for
Ooh.
West Ham. You see what
Oh
I
my
mean?
God! That is not a good
Yeah,
schedule for West Ham. They
it's
got to win
getting
against Aston Villa.
it's getting very, very difficult for them. So, do you think David Moyes would get the sack if they fail to like win any of their first 6, 7 games?
I feel like they won't sack him now, but if it's by the World Cup, when the World Cup starts and they're like in the relegation zone, I could see him then getting sacked. I don't think
All
they should
right.
pull the trigger this early, but once they get to the World Cup, because then you sack the manager, then you have time to build the squad when they come back to training. At least then. Now I think it would just be a little bit too harsh. Because look what he did last season. Come on,
True,
Europa League
true, true,
semifinal and making it to the top seven again. I mean,
true,
and they backed him with all the money spent. West Ham usually don't spend a lot of money. They spent a lot of money this summer.
true. So for West Ham, they signed Emerson Palmieri, as we know, and they've been linked to the move to with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And there's also been reports that they've submitted a £5 million bid for Flamengo's young midfielder Lazaro, and Flamengo rejected the initial offer and asked for £10 million with a sell-on clause and performance bonuses. So let's see if West Ham would actually get this little Brazilian youngster. I hope they do, because it will be nice to see what a player coming in from the Brazilian league would do in a team like West Ham, right? Getting opportunities in the Conference League and so on and so forth. So Scott McTominay has also been linked with a move to West Ham as well. Let's see if that's actually going to happen if
Don't
he
do it,
leaves.
West Ham. Don't do it, West Ham. Don't do it.
But he did play well against you guys yesterday,
I
though.
don't care, Dom. Anybody can be good against Henderson and Milner.
So, look, let's talk a bit about Brighton if we have anything to do with their transfer news. Well, Mupay. What do you think about Neil Mupay and potentially moving to either Fulham or Nottingham Forest? Where do you think he should go?
I don't know why those clubs are going for Neil Maupay. What has he shown in the Premier League that deserves to pay 15 million? 15 million for Neil Maupay. Okay, yes, he's good in pressing and he's good off the ball. His finishing is terrible.
Yeah, I
Why
know.
would you pay for that? And Nottingham Forest have gone Emmanuel Dennis, they've gone Taiwo Awani, and they got Brennan Johnson. Why do they need another striker? And then for Fulham, you have Mitrovic. I don't know who the backup striker is, so maybe that's just a cover for Mitrovic. But for
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest, why would you pay that money? Why? It makes no sense for Nottingham Forest perspective. I guess for Fulham, backup striker, it's good enough.
All right. So there's also been some news that Brighton announced that Danny Welbeck have signed a new contract running until 2024. That's good for him, though.
Nice,
It's
good for
very,
him.
very good for him. So Billy Gilmore has been linked with a move to both Everton and Brighton as well. So let's see if that one could actually happen. We spoke about Neil Maupay, and there's also been talks about Everton being linked to Leandro Trossard. I think that would be a great signing for Everton if they do lose Anthony Gordon.
60 million. What is going on in football? 60 million for Anthony Gordon. You gotta be
Yeah,
crazy,
that's a
dog.
lot of money. Chelsea are
Oh,
bugging out though.
no,
Chelsea
they're
about
going
to
crazy.
they're about to splash almost 150 million pounds on two 20-year-old players for Fana and Garden. Garden is I think 19 still, if I'm not mistaken.
Is he 19? I think he might be 20. I'll quickly check though.
Yeah, he might. I think he might still be 19. I
21.
think he 21. Oh, okay, 21. All right,
They're gonna
stand
spend 300
corrected.
million pounds almost this summer,
But still, though, still, and
and
and they
nobody's no,
still
no nobody's gonna talk about it.
still not
Okay,
gonna win. Still not gonna win the league.
yeah.
Still,
Well, we'll
how are
discuss
you?
about that.
How are you? Okay, yeah, we'll get to them. We'll get to them. But that's it for Brighton. Also Middlesbrough have agreed £2.25 million deal for Matt Clark. He's a youngster, and Brighton are interested in Christian Kouame as well. And it's been said that Fiorentina will respond depending on their Conference League playoff result against FC20, and that's a recent update as well. So guys like Kouame and Kudos and these guys, some young African players who's been, doing well over the past few seasons. So we're gonna keep it moving, Mike, and it seems like this is lasting forever today. But let's talk a bit about Leeds United
Oh my
3,
god.
Chelsea nil. Big up to everybody in the chat. Do appreciate you guys joining and actually voting in the poll. Mike, did you vote in the poll for where you think Liverpool would end the season?
I put third.
Third, it doesn't look good in terms of the title, man. I'm getting my prediction dead wrong. A lot of people
Did you
think
wait? Did you predict Liverpool? You're
yeah,
the you jinxed us. I see how it
I
is. Now
I
you jinxed us.
predicted I predicted you guys to win the league because I didn't think we would go on to do the three-peat. You see what I'm saying? So that is why I went ahead and did
I'm
that.
blaming Dom for Liverpool's terribleness at the moment.
Yeah.
This is what I'm blaming it on.
So I ended the poll, and I think I should put up another poll and ask if Man City is gonna go on to win the three-peat. You think that that'll be a good poll?
No, I think
Or should I put
I
up a poll about Chelsea?
probably put up a poll about Chelsea to see where they finish, top four or outside the top four, because that's more of a discussion, I would say.
So let's talk about this game, man. Leeds 3, man. Jesse March doing the Jesse March. You see his celebrations running off and kicking and all that kind. Jesse March is, has no behavior whatsoever, man.
I
You
like it
know,
though. He
I
did the
love it.
same thing. He did the same thing like Tuchel did against Conte, so it's only fair.
I love it. I love Jesse March and his behavior right now, man. But 33rd minute goal by Brendan Aronson. Rodrigo in the 37th to knock the stuffing out of Chelsea. Jack Harrison in the 69th. And the Koulibaly red card in the 84th minute that fall for pulling back Brendan Aronson. Couldn't keep up with the very, slick American international. I always like Aronson for some reason though.
That
And
guy,
I
I don't
think
know how
I,
many Red Bulls he has before a game. That guy is everywhere on the pitch.
I
Monster
think
energy drinks or whatever.
I think, Christian Pulisic is a special player, but I think Brendan Aronson could actually go on to be a bit more prolific than him when it comes to his Premier League career, though, because
And I think he
Aaron,
just worked. He works perfectly into what Jesse Marsh wants to do as well.
yeah. What do you think about, now that we're on both Chelsea and Leeds, and the fact that Jesse March is in charge of Leeds United? What do you think if Leeds attempt to go in for a loan move for Christian Pulisic? That won't be a bad move at all.
It won't be a bad move, but then because he has to play left wing. You've seen Pulisic play for the United States. He plays as the left winger, and he's fantastic in that position. At Chelsea, he's all over the place. He's right wing back. He's cam. He's left wing. He's
Exactly.
false nine. You have Harrison, so that's kind of the problem. And I think Harrison has been really good addition for Leeds
Harrison
United.
gonna
So
have to sit on the bench.
nah, he was fantastic in this game. I thought he was
Yeah,
man in the match.
and also Harrison is part American too, so
Yeah, he is.
yeah, so
He should play for the United States, to be honest.
yeah. I actually met Harrison back in 2018 he was like a nobody kind of player. He
Yeah.
was a Man City player. After that, Man City bought him from NYCFC, but that's when I took a picture with David Villa. I actually told Harrison to kind of get out the way a little, like, hey, for real. I remember I was on the way to a cruise in the Bahamas, and I was like, could I take a picture with David Villa? Excuse me, please,
Yeah.
And he moved aside, and I took the picture with David Villa. And then afterwards, I heard that Harrison got a move to, City signed him, and then he got loaned out to Leeds United while they were in the championship, and he was doing well. So it's good on him to get this goal. To be honest, the goals are a little bit blurry to me, but one goal I could definitely remember because I was like, Aronson goal. The press, man, on Edward Mendy. The press on Mendy. We want to talk about that. What are your thoughts on that, though? And we spoke about Aronson being on 10 Red Bulls before the game, and it's just his energy and his pressing game just threw Mendy off, and he actually won that goal on his own.
I don't understand from Mendy's perspective. He has all the time in the world to just kick it away. But he tried to do a fake move. He tried to do a drag back. I don't get what Mendy's doing in that. You just clear it away. I told you, and I tweeted you, I said, we've seen
Mm-hmm.
so many goalkeeping errors in Europe. I mean, everywhere. Serie A, you see Radu, you see Bundesliga, you see, oh my God, some of the mistakes I've seen in the Bundesliga so far. And then La Liga I haven't seen yet, so maybe they'll be next. But the Premier League has seen some terrible goalkeeping mistakes. Obviously, it's more evident with goalkeepers because if they make a mistake, it's going to be catastrophe for the team. But Mendy, man, we've seen this a couple of times recently as well with him against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Now
Yeah.
here, and he's a great shot stopper, but with the ball at his feet, not good enough
And the
whatsoever.
thing is, with moments like this, Mendy was praised in the past. He was touted as the best goalkeeper in the world, given the award by UEFA and all of
Well,
that.
he was great when they won the Champions League.
Yeah, but
You
the
can't
thing
deny that.
is, you could see how football fans are very fickle and everything. And I'm pretty sure Chelsea fans are probably screaming that they got to drop him and bring in Kepa and all that kind of, you know what I mean? I'm
Well,
pretty sure there's some
they can
Chelsea
ask for that.
fans,
We'll see what happens when they bring in Kepa. We'll see what happens. He is the captain
you
after all,
know?
the whole club.
So yeah, man. So yeah, Mendy has not been good recently. He's been conceding a lot of cheap goals. Even though he's still pulling off some good saves. I think he could be a lot better though. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
look, the Rodrigo man, Rodrigo, great goal by Aronson, but Rodrigo has been unsung. How many he has so far? Four
4. He's
goals.
top goal scorer of the Premier
I'm
League.
telling you, and
Rodrigo.
this is the Rodrigo. No, we laugh, but this is the Rodrigo that we expect because at Valencia he was doing very well. You see what
Yep,
I'm
and
saying?
Bolton as well.
He was
I still
doing
remember
very,
at Bolton.
but it's at Valencia that he really, rose, to prominence, and he
Mm.
was even playing for the Spain national team and all. Because remember, Rodrigo is Brazilian born. If some of you guys don't
Yep.
know, and he's like that Jorginho type player, who played for a European club, a European team, and he's from Brazil. But Rodrigo, when he was signed, I was like, yeah, boy, Leeds, that's a good signing, and he didn't really do anything, and he's been very, very prolific this season. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
you got to give it to him and Harrison. An assist and a goal. Very good game, man. Chelsea picked apart, taken to the cleaners.
Chelsea were terrible. I just that their midfield. Tyler Adams had a great game, by the way.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah,
out to
yeah,
another
yeah.
American.
Definitely,
Tyler
definitely.
Adams and Marco Rocca absolutely ran the show in the midfield. They made Gallagher and Jorginho look like League One players. They were terrible. The midfield for Chelsea had no control, couldn't move the ball with pace. The Koulibaly, I think he's a great center back. I think he's still top 5. He got torn apart by Brendan Aronson, absolutely torn apart. I think for Chelsea, the forwards still haven't scored a goal this season. They're not clinical enough. They don't create
Look,
enough good enough chances.
look, Mike.
I look
They've
at
had
okay, guys.
chances. They've had chances, but they've not taken their chances. Sterling could have scored
Yeah,
early on in the game, and he curled his shot wide, right? And I can't remember all the misses and everything, but they did have opportunities. If we check the stats, 14 shots at goal, Wayward, only 3 on target. Look at Leeds, 12 shots, 6 on target. Chelsea had most of the ball. They had more opportunities to do their thing, but it's just something that's going on with this team. I keep mentioning that Thomas Tuchel does not know his best 11, and he
yep.
keeps proving me right every single week. He just chops and changes like there's no tomorrow, man. Like, I know there's a forced change when bringing in Conor Gallagher. There's no Kante and Kovacic, but the fact that he started Ben Chilwell in the first game and then brought Cucurella right in, it's not working. Mason Mount gotta step up his game. You see what I mean? Kai Havertz gotta step up his game. You see, and if I think if it the only argument that Chelsea fans could come to me with when it comes to Kai Havertz is the fact that he scored a Champions League winning goal. Apart from that, he has not done well enough for the kind of money that Chelsea paid for him. You
The
see what
thing,
I mean?
the problem with Kai Havertz is watching him at Bayer Leverkusen. He's not a false 9. He's a number
Yeah,
10.
but that's what
He
I'm
cannot.
saying.
He doesn't play out wide. I see him with Chelsea. He drifts out wide to the right, and he's supposed to take on players. That's not Kai Havertz's game. He wants to link up with the striker, get in behind like that. He's not a dribbler. He wants to pass. I don't understand with Thomas Tuchel. You can clearly see Kai Havertz is uncomfortable in that position. Switch it up. Mason
But the
Mount.
thing
What is he
is,
doing all the way out wide as well? Mason Mount should be a
he's a
number 8.
midfielder.
Okay,
Exactly.
play him as a number 8 next to Jorginho. He can do good defensive work. Play Kai Havertz as the number 10, and then I don't know who else do they have off the bench?
I
Was
think,
Broja?
look, I
Yeah.
think I think Mason Mount and Kai Havertz should be in attacking midfield positions, right?
Yes.
And if you're gonna have Jorginho playing, and he's a defensive midfield, that can't be good enough. So that means Jorginho got to be dropped to the bench. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's my opinion. A player that could do more defensive work might be Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but then he's over there playing as a freaking wingback. How do you have Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing as a wingback? He's not He's not fit. He's not fit enough to play as a wingback, running up, running back, running up, running back. That's gonna kill the player. You see what I mean? So you should have Reece James doing that job. You need a third center back along with Thiago and Koulibaly. Maybe they're going for Fofana, a younger one, because these guys are up there. And now Koulibaly is going to be suspended for the next game. God knows what's going to happen. Most likely Aspilicueta is going to come in.
Yeah.
And Thomas Tuchel is going to keep changing up this team. Look, I'm going to make a prediction right now. And I'm going to make it early, and there's no animosity in there or whatever. But Raheem Sterling is going to flop at Chelsea. Because there's been 3 games now He's yet to score, right?
Yep.
He's yet to score. He did pick up an assist, and I don't think Thomas Tuchel is going to have patience that he's 5 games in, he has not scored. There's players on the bench like Pulisic who need opportunities, and then once Sterling go on the bench, you're going to see him sporadically if Chelsea continues to, like, if Chelsea turn their form around and start doing well. You see what I'm saying? So the
I,
Sterling and what I don't like with Sterling too, what he did is when he did that interview and he's talking about how he wanted opportunities. Listen, you're not gonna start every single game at City. Mahrez doesn't start every game. Foden,
Grealish doesn't.
the only player that I think is guaranteed to start every game is Kevin De Bruyne, Edison, and maybe Rodri. You see what I'm saying? These
Hmm.
players, the other players, they could be in and out of the team. They could be in and out. Ruben Diaz, as you guys could see, is being switched in and out of the team. Sterling is also fit that mold as in and out of the team, but he's going to have a lot of game time when come at the end of the season. City's playing 50 to 60 games every season. And you what you want to do? Play all? You want to play all the games? You see what
I
I'm
guess
saying?
so.
So when you talk about, I left for regular game time, you're gonna see the regular game time that you're gonna get at Chelsea. Watch and see when Tuchel drop you to the bench, what's gonna happen.
Ooh.
Mark my
Look,
word.
Sterling. He hasn't been clinical in the last couple of seasons. It's honestly ever since that Leon miss, it's gone downhill for him when it
And
comes in front
and
of
the
goal.
thing too, he's got the opportunities at Chelsea so far to score, and he's not scoring.
This is the thing,
So
Dom. At City, he had maybe 5 chances in a game to score, and he would bury one of those because it would be a tap in. At Chelsea,
exactly.
he's going to have max 2 chances, so he has to be much more clinical. If he isn't, he's not going to have the numbers, and he's
And
going
the
to have low
thing,
in confidence, and Tuchel will then drop him. Maybe we'll see.
and the
We'll see.
thing too, the thing that I said, let Chelsea fans deal with the frustration of watching Sterling play. I don't want it. Thank you very much for the service at Manchester City, but goodbye. Simple as that. It's football. You got to keep refreshing the players. You
Yep.
can't be sentimental all the time. And you could see what sentimental is doing to Liverpool. You see
Yep.
what I'm saying? By keeping old stale players in the squad and keep playing them from the start. If Man City was doing that, they would have never been as successful as they have been.
Yep,
You
facts.
see what I
Look,
mean?
look. If Chelsea fans want to know what their future is going to look like, just watch Dom's reaction to Sterling's Leon miss. Then you understand. Where Dom just lost his shit
I'm
about that,
telling you,
man.
man. I'm telling you.
Because that's going to be
But
Sterling. He's such a frustrating player to watch at
I'm
times.
telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man. But this is not a good look for Chelsea. Kudos
No.
and credit to Leeds United, man. Look,
Oh, they fully deserve the victory.
you talk about a player on steroids, Tyler Adams, bro. This guy never stops running.
Yeah.
This guy never stops running, man. And I'm happy. It's a player that I never really liked before, but lately I got to appreciate the work that he put in because you need that kind of enforcer in your team, that in your face type player in your team. You know what I'm saying? That
Hmm.
when a defender would go and try to rough up your player, Tyler Adams would come up in your face and push you away and things like that. You need that intimidate the opponent. You see, so you know, big win for Leeds. This is massive. Seeing that the history between the teams as well, the rivalry, and for them to come out on top, massive victory, man. I gotta give it to them. Look, it got to a point in the game where Jesse March was saying, "Listen, Sinistera, Gelhardt, Sam Greenwood, y'all go out and have some fun. Go out and have
Enjoy
some
a
fun."
Sunday stroll.
Exactly. And if you look at what Tuchel did, I think by bringing on Pulisic and Ziyech, he looked very desperate there because Ziyech is out of favor and he's possibly leaving in the next week. And to
Yep.
bring these players on, not the Pulisic, but the Ziyech move, I'm like, wow. Bringing on Ben Chilwell, not as a left back either, as a forward type player. I think, or maybe Ben Chilwell dropped to left back and Cucurella went forward. I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's what
but
happened.
you know, it didn't work. It didn't work, man. And Chelsea, they're gonna spend the money. Koulibaly will be absent from the next game. He's getting a rude awakening to the Premier League. Jorginho, I don't think is good enough. And I have Chelsea coming in. I think I have them coming in fifth this season, not
No,
making the top four.
I agree. I think they'll be fifth.
not
This is
making
my
top
this
four.
is my biggest question with Chelsea, right? I don't know what their identity is. Isn't it crazy how Leeds United with Jesse
Exact,
Marsh they have their identity in a couple months and Chelsea still don't have an
exactly,
identity. I
exactly.
don't I don't. So look, you're gonna buy Anthony Gordon. Okay, cool. Is he a goal scorer? No. So who's still gonna score the goals in this team other than Jorginho penalty and maybe Koulibaly, Thiago Silva from a
Exactly.
set piece? Where is the goals gonna come from this team? I have no
Oh,
clue.
the thing is too, right? They brought in Chukwuemeka as well. What is he gonna? I know
For the
he's a
future.
future. He's a
For
future,
the
but
future.
still, Chelsea haven't been treating their youngsters well at all, and
Yeah.
it's you know what I mean.
Dom, I'll
It
be right back, Dom. I gotta go get my
yeah,
food. All right.
definitely, definitely. So Mike will be back, and I'll hold it down for now. But look, in the meantime, between time, big up to everybody in the stream. Big up to the boy Doug. Big up to Steve, Paloma, Bambi, Rosie, Gap, Big, Alistair Francis in the house. Who else we got in here, man? Mr. Yan, Palomo, everybody, Dane participating in the chat, man. Do appreciate you guys. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. It is a rare Tuesday review during the day. I usually do my thing late in the evening, but I chose to do this one a bit early to get it out the way. My wife's supposed to head on out pretty soon too, so I don't know why I'm still not yet on to the next few games, man. Time kind of slipped away from me though. Seriously, when Mike comes back, I have to go and check on that situation and see if my wife is ready to bounce up out of here. But look, just to finish this off and move on to the next two games: Liverpool, United, City, Newcastle, where we don't have to spend overly long on those because I've already made videos on those and give my thoughts already. But we still have to talk about those games a little bit more. So for Leeds United, their next game will be tomorrow in the second round of the EFL Cup against Barnsley. That'll be a home game for Leeds. Then they face Brighton in the Premier League. Leeds are third right now in the league, so kudos to them. For Chelsea, who are 12th in the league with 4 points, a win, a draw, and a loss, their next game will be against Leicester City this Saturday. In terms of Leeds, do they have any more transfer business that they're gonna actually do? So I don't know, but let's see if there's any chirps and whispers about Leeds United. So there's nothing lately. I think Jesse March have done most of their things already, but there's one coming in from Calcio Mercato that Juventus have been alerted to Leeds and Newcastle's interest in Mose Ken. The player is not in Allegri's plan. I could more see him going to Leeds United with Newcastle going for João Pedro there. So I think that's about it in terms of the latest links. And they've also been linked to Wilfried Nanto, the Italian forward who plays for FC Zurich. So they're looking for a forward because of Patrick Bamford's injury problems as of late. So let us see how that one works out though. So Mike is back. Mike, I've been talking about Leeds looking for a striker, been linked with Nanto, and they've been linked with Mose Ken, two Italian international strikers there.
Yeah, I mean, Gnonto would be a good. He was really good with I want to say it was Zurich last year, but he's a
Yeah,
very
Zurich.
young and promising striker. And I mean, Moise Keane. Look, we've seen him in the Premier League. I don't know.
I don't think
I
he
don't.
got the chances though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think he got the chances, but I don't know. I've seen him with Juventus. I don't think he's anything special, to be honest. I think for Leeds, go with Gnonto for the
I
future.
think I think he was special, but the fact that they let him go, you know what I
Mm,
mean? And when Ronaldo came into the picture and all of that kind of, you know what I mean? I think he got squeezed out of the team,
yeah,
you
he did.
know. But if he had stayed at Juventus, who knows? And given the opportunity to be that number one striker, you never know what would have happened though. So in terms of Chelsea though, they've been big moves though. What do you think about Chelsea going in for Fofana playing that big fee, possibly 85
Oh,
million pounds?
that's crazy. 85 million for Fofana. Leeds, I mean, Leicester's just know how to finesse clubs. They did the same thing with Maguire. Look, I think Fofana is a really good player, but for 85 million, it's just today's world. It's crazy, the football market. I think he'll definitely help them. I think then allows then Reece James to go right wing back because that's where Reece James needs to play. He's fantastic going forward and he's great at defense. That's where Reece James needs to play. He's been a lot, not a liability, but he's diminished in a way that he's playing a right center back. Why? Why would you play Reece James as right center back? You can clearly
Yeah,
see he's great going forward. I don't get it,
I
but
don't know,
Fofana would be a
man.
great addition. And then Gordon for 60 million. I don't rate Gordon that highly. Look, he's a very good pressing. He's moving off the ball,
Yeah,
but goals they need goal scoring. That's what they
yeah.
need. He's not
But
that.
look, in terms of goal scoring, though, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Barcelona to Chelsea is imminent. Agreement reached between the two clubs for around 20 million euros plus bonuses. The finalization of the deal is expected really soon. What do you think about that? Not only Anthony Gordon and Wesley Fofana, but Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as well, along with the Koulibaly deal. You know,
Uh,
Chelsea is spending. Am I missing any other players that they brought in? Chuck Wumeka, but they didn't pay
and then
any money
they
for
brought
him.
in Inter Milan. They brought Slonina, the American goalkeeper,
Yeah,
and
but he's
they
not. Yeah,
and then they brought in another Inter Milan academy player,
yeah,
Cesare Cassedi,
yes,
for 15
yeah,
million.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay, I don't know about Aubameyang either. I got to be honest. Did you? He's not
I
clinical enough either.
I think I don't know, man.
I
Aubameyang did well at Arsenal until he got the raise. You know what I'm saying? Until he signed the
exactly,
thing. And I
exactly.
don't know if he's actually gonna be effective at Chelsea, but he just might be because they need a striker. But he has to play. You see what I'm saying? You can't bring him in and then have him on the bench and then maybe have Aubameyang going into an interview saying he wish he was at Barcelona and then dropping him. So I think who else are they gonna go for in terms of a prominent a still relevant type striker?
I don't know.
I think
Yeah, I mean,
he'll.
they have to do it.
Yeah,
Although
exactly.
Dom, I was thinking to myself, this may be crazy. I could see them
Mm.
still going for Ronaldo in the final couple days. Do not be
Chelsea.
shocked if that. Yep.
Yeah,
Do
I
not be
won't be
shocked.
surprised. I won't be surprised
Yeah.
because with Todd Bowley being American, that could be a marketing move as well.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
where else could he actually go right now
Where
in
there's
this
Champions League football.
exactly. Or where someone could actually afford his wages and where he'll actually make sense. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? So him going to Chelsea might actually happen. We haven't heard anything, but let us see. Let us see if that one actually happened though. So there's the Aubameyang deal to Chelsea. There's Anthony Gordon, and there is the Fofana deal that's actually imminent. We spoke about the what you call it, leaving. Emerson leaving, Ziyech could
Rudiger
leave
leaving.
as well. Who?
Rudiger.
Yeah, those are early. I'm just doing updates basically.
Updates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
mean,
doing
there was
updates.
Marcos Alonso was going to leave, but we have no clue about that situation at the moment.
Who?
Marcos Alonso.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one is still like in the works, but it's up to
Yeah.
Barcelona if they could actually register new players. So there's also been a little one here. I see that Chelsea inquired about Porto winger Pepe. The Portuguese club stance is clear. They will only sell the player for release clause of 50 million, 70 million euros. I don't know this player, Pepe from Porto.
I haven't
A
seen much of
winger.
him.
I think I heard of him when I saw there was two Pepe playing for Porto, the defender and the forward. Talk about Pepe, something that I actually forgot to mention is Nicholas Pepe of Arsenal could be on the move as well,
Yeah.
So that
I
is a
didn't know
late
what happened.
one. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I hopefully look, hope Everton doesn't go in for him and regret, just something like that. Let's think.
No, Nicolas Pepe, do not go to Everton,
Yeah,
please.
think
Do not
about
do
it.
it.
Think about it. I think he's been linked with a move to a Premier League club, though. I can't remember who I actually saw he was linked to. But let me see if I see anything here. Nicolas Pepe. I think he's been linked with a move back to the French league with Nice. And let me see. Let me see. Nice. Yeah, I think he's been linked with Nice. Yep, Nice want to sign Nicola Pepe on loan. Yeah, I think he's been linked with Nice though. So Arsenal definitely a big loss on him though. And yeah, definitely. So look, we're gonna move on, Mike. We got two more. My wife's supposed to actually go out. I don't know what time she's going out, whether it's 1:30 or 1 o'clock. But we have two games to talk about, and it's two of the biggest games. Look, we could talk about the Man City Newcastle game because the Liverpool Man United game, I did dedicate a lot of that of my time yesterday on that one. So it's not imperative that I actually go in depth with it. I like to hear your opinions still. But your opinion on this one is definitely important as well. Newcastle 3, Man City 3. What do you
Crazy
think
game.
about this game?
Crazy game. This was proper Barclays football. What I miss: intensity, passion, goals, maybe a red card. It had everything. Maybe just barring a penalty. That was it. I absolutely love this game. Shout out to Newcastle. They
You
were not
you
afraid. Yeah, go ahead.
uh, Yo, you're coming in really clean, man. You should have put on a headphone from the start.
Well, I had the AirPods, so that's why I don't know. I don't know
Oh
why the
yeah,
AirPods don't have good speakers. But
yeah. The AirPod wasn't coming in real clean at all,
okay,
though.
you could have told me. I could have switched it up. You
Nah,
could have
it's all
just
right, bro. It's all
okay.
right. These days I don't really, go too hard when it comes to those things, man. Your
All right.
presence is enough.
Thank you, thank you. The presence
Yeah,
is here. But look,
exactly.
Newcastle, I have to give them credit, right? They were not scared of the moment. They were not scared of the opponent. They took it to Manchester City, and you have to credit them for that. They could have easily won this game. They could have easily folded when Manchester City went 1-0 up in the first 5 minutes and it would have been over. But Newcastle said, that's not going to be us today. We're going to show you. Almiron, even though he scored the goal, should have had 3 goals, even maybe 2 goals for sure. That did not happen. And Callum Wilson with a fantastic finish. And Kieran Trippier, the guy always scores great free kicks, and he did it again on Ederson's side as well. That usually doesn't happen for a goalkeeper that they get beaten on their own side. Ederson should have probably done better with it, but that was a great free kick from Kieran Trippier. And then you also have to give credit to Manchester City. Not giving up, still coming back. You know how Liverpool fans talk about mentality monsters? That was Manchester City. They showed the determination of a champion. And that's what Man City did. I mean, that pass from KDB for Bernardo Silva's goal was just sublime. Oh my God. That's why he is the best midfielder in the world, KDB. That pass to Bernardo Silva was so. I don't even know. I don't even have the words to describe it. That's how good it was of a pass from KDB to Bernardo Silva. So, look, Man City, they could have easily won this game at the end. They had chances. I can remember Haaland going through a 1-on-1 in goal, but I have to credit Newcastle. Eddie Howe had a game plan. They said, we're going to make it difficult for Man City. We're not going to press them all the time, but at certain moments, we're going to press as a team, and we're going to take them. Because the problem for a lot of opponents is they sit back and they allow Man City to dictate play, allow them to keep possession for more than 2 minutes, and you're just going to tire out. Newcastle said, all right, we're gonna, I mean, I can't believe how good Alan Saint-Maximin play. I've never seen him play this good. Usually he over dribbles it or he makes the wrong decision. Every decision he made in that game was spot on. So shout out to Newcastle, but Man City, got to give them massive credit as well for coming back into the game in such a short period of time. I was getting Aston Villa vibes again when they were
Yeah.
coming back in the matchup. So just a fantastic game. Unbelievable.
Yep. Well said, Mike. Thanks for holding it down. I had to go check on my wife to find out if she was actually still going out, but she's not. She got to go out to do her nails, so that one could actually. Oh, she might not even go out to do that. So we're good. We're good. We're good.
I've seen
But
my girlfriend go all the time out now for nails. Actually, funny enough, though, my girlfriend, she made it into Miss Finland top 10.
oh wow,
Yeah, yeah. So I got to
she
shout her
must
out.
she must be a beauty, man. You got a beauty on your hands
I
there.
got lucky. I didn't even
God,
plan this.
man, you gotta preserve that.
Yep.
Definitely.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
But
holding the fort down while she's gone.
definitely. But look, man, look, Mike, I felt confident of winning this game, right? And getting that early goal when Ilkay Gundogan put away in the 5th minute, man, that was exquisitely done by Bernardo Silva. The pass, I think that was Kevin De Bruyne picked him out if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong with that, but De Bruyne is usually involved in most of the goals. And that pass to Bernardo, switch of play. And the way he just moved the Newcastle defense that way, then bring him back that way, and then, leaving them behind and putting that ball in the middle to pick out the run of Gundogan. Gundogan is so intelligent that he's so hard to pick up because you're worrying about picking up Foden, picking up Haaland, marking somebody else, but then there comes Ilkay Gundogan slipping through the cracks. Well taken down, well dispatched. I was like, yeah, man, walk in the park. But the thing is, what could have given us a more of an advantage in this game? Let me actually refer to my notes and I'll let you know exactly where it happened. This is the only game that I actually took notes for this weekend, and it is something that happened in the last game, and that's Phil Foden. 10th minute, 10th minute, it happened. So we scored in the fifth, and we could have put away another one, an easy tap in where Haaland was there open. It was a nice play. KDB, you know what I mean? KDB, no, this was not that one. I think that was not the 10th minute. No, that the 10th minute was Haaland was set up by KDB and had a shot saved by Nick Pope. So there was a chance for Haaland in the 10th minute. That wasn't a 1v1. That was a different one. That was another one. But the 15th minute was when the Foden chance happened, right? Newcastle were looking dangerous after they conceded, but then we had an opportunity to score in the 10th minute, and then not even that one. That one was saved. But that Foden chance that Nick Pope saved at his near post, it should have been squared for Erling Haaland tapping. That's a big talking point.
And same thing last weekend as well against Bournemouth.
And Pep said, oh, it won't happen again. It won't happen again. You know why? Because Erling will be there, and Foden is going to know that Erling will always be there. But it seems like Phil Foden, bro, I don't know what it is with Phil Foden, but I don't know if it's an ego thing and being young like Haaland, and he's thinking, okay, Haaland's coming for, he's a big signing or whatever. He's earning big wages or whatever. I'm going to prove that I'm going to score as many goals as Erling Haaland. I don't know if that's what the thinking is. We know how
Yep.
good Foden is. I like
Yep.
Foden, but I don't like this new thing that's crept into his game. I don't like it because easy square tapping. Erling Haaland should have had about 5 goals already this season.
Yep.
You see what I mean? So Foden got to weed the selfishness out of his game. Stop going for glory. It feels as good to get the assist and get your team a goal, but he's going to score, and Nick Pope was equal to the task, man. Nick Pope was actually the man of the match for me in
Oh
this
yeah,
game.
he pulled off some brilliant saves. Oh my god, that
Look,
save he put off Holland, where he tipped it onto the post in the second half. My god, he should be England's starting goalkeeper.
exactly.
Not that Pickford guy. I don't rate Pickford whatsoever.
Oh man, but look, let's just go through the timeline really quick since I have some more time. And with City being 1-0 up, Newcastle fought back. They got into the game. The Haaland chance. Then Newcastle looked dangerous. I could remember one time when Joe Willock actually outran Kyle Walker. I was like, what am I seeing here?
That was crazy. I didn't know Joe Willock had pace like that.
Exactly. I was like, I'm like, is Walker actually on the decline? I don't think he's on the decline, but it's not such a steep decline. But against Newcastle, he got found out big time, man. He got
He
found
did.
out.
I couldn't believe how bad Kyle Walker was.
Because there was one time he was on top of St. Maximin riding him. And I'm like, what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? So we got to start looking at a potential new right back, though. It's not because of this game,
You
but
have
Walker.
Cancelo.
No, Walker is 32 years old, I think, these days. So you can't wait until he's like horrible
Yeah.
and he's being memed to
Well-
actually,
One thing is for sure, Dom. Man City don't keep players when they know they're bad. They move them
Well,
on.
I'm not gonna say they're bad. I'm gonna
No,
say
not
like
bad,
on
but
the
when
on
they're
the
on the
decline.
decline. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could expect Kyle Walker to maybe be out of the club next summer
Yeah, possibly.
or summer 2024.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it wouldn't go on longer than that at all because of the mentality of Manchester City, man. But look, the chance for Miguel Almiron, man, he should have scored that one to make it 1-1. That was about 18th minute. And then we had a setback by having Nathan Ake subbed off in the 21st minute. And I think when Ruben Diaz came on, he came on at a time in the game where it was helter-skelter. It was all chaos back and forth, It was a basketball game, So
it was lovely to watch.
exactly. And then the St. Maximin chance that Edison saved. So, Newcastle fought back well in the game. I think from 15 to 25 minutes, they won that period. And they really give Man City a run for their money. And then Miguel Almiron scored that goal in the 28th minute. very, very good build up as well. And the ball into the box wasn't well defended by City, and the rest is history. I think Newcastle got a little fortunate there that the ball, kind of fell and hit Almiron on his knee, and the
But
flag went up.
they should have already scored one before that,
Yeah, yeah,
anyways, with
yeah, yeah.
Almiron. So
It, it,
it
it
was
was
justified.
actually, yeah, it was merited. And the flag went up, but the VAR review deemed it to be a goal. So 1-1, well deserved. And at that point, I wasn't actually worried. To be honest, I was like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? We'll concede a goal. We'll come back in this game and everything. And, Newcastle looked good, and they scored a second in the 39th minute. So it was St. Maximin to Wilson, and that toe poke.
Oof.
That toe poke was brilliant. So St. Maximin with the assist for both goals. He was a menace on the day for Man City, man.
That was
The
probably the best game he's ever played.
the pace and the skill
Yep.
is just, and the stamina. He did get winded a little later on in the game, but he was just, and it's a player. Let me let people know this. This is a player that I actually discovered in FIFA a couple years ago. I think it was probably like 2016 when I was, no, 2015 actually, when I was playing FIFA 16. So this is 7 years ago. So he must have been a teenager back then, and I picked him up. He was owned by Nice, and then, he kind of went out. I think he went out on loan a few times. I think he went out alone in Germany, if I'm not mistaken, and then he went back to France football, and then, he came to prominence. Newcastle picked him up. So I've known about this player for a very, very long time. So a lot of people, they're now finding out about St. Maxima. I've known of him a long time, but I didn't know he was such a prolific dribbler. He's damn good. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
he's a great dribbler, but his problem in his game is decision making and
Yeah,
clinicalness. That's been always
yeah.
the problem with Saint Maximin.
Exactly. Boy, imagine this player working on the, let's say, Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola. How good
Yep.
he could become, though. But
Although
I
no,
don't.
I think he's super happy to be at Newcastle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's very happy with the project.
Yeah, yeah, and the only way he'll leave is if a bigger club. Well, I don't want to say big, a Champions League club. 'Cause Newcastle are a big club. A Champions League club actually kind of go in for him and
Yeah.
say, okay, we're interested in this player, and the player is like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna go to this club. You know what I'm saying? Let's say a Barcelona, or Real Madrid, or even a PSG go in for him. I think he'll move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he definitely will. But he was a menace, man. He was a menace, and going 2-1 down at that point, Mike, I still wasn't worried because of our recent, comeback ability against West Ham and against Villa. I was like, I'm cool. It's all right. We could come back. But when they came back in the second half, bro, and Nick Pope saved the Haaland shot onto the post, right-footed shot. Erling Haaland he's so good to watch play, man. I really, I'm happy that we have him and to get to watch him every single week now. It's a joy. And him almost scoring, you got to give it to Nick Pope. Another save, tip onto the bar. And then Newcastle getting that free kick. When Trippier scored, I'm like, damn, I'm like, we're going to lose this game now. I'm like, I can't believe it. We're going to lose this game now, man. Because I was at work watching the game, and I had a call, and I was about to respond to the call, but I was waiting for the free kick. I was like, let me just wait for the free kick, right? And I said, okay, I'm in my pickup, and I'm like, okay, free kick, and I'm like, oh god, oh man, that
Nah,
was exquisite,
that
man.
was such a sick free kick. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that
You don't
was
want to
good.
give
That was
Trippier a
good.
chance on a free kick.
That was good. That was damn good. That was good. So the quality there by bringing in Trippier, in January, he's proven to be a very, very good signing. And I like for Trippier that he's raised his game since he was a Spurs player. You know what I'm saying? He went to Atletico Madrid. He did well. He won a league title, and he said, "You know what, man? I believe in this project that Newcastle is having right now. He signed and he's done well. And I think he's one of the reasons why Newcastle actually stayed up last season. And then he got injured, and he's hit the ground running again this season. Brilliant, man, brilliant. Look, listen. Watching Trippier play like this, I feel bad for Trent Alexander-Arnold because he's not gonna start for England. You see what I'm saying?
Kyle Walker's still the starting right back.
No, and
Well,
Kyle Walker is going to play as one of the center backs.
yeah. So it's probably going to be either James or Trippier. That's most
Yeah,
likely
exactly. You
because
see?
Southgate loves Trippier as well.
So when I tell people that Trent Alexander-Arnold is not that guy, they keep telling, oh, he's the best right back. Okay, if he's the best right back in the world, why is he not starting for England and Trippier starting ahead of him? Explain that to me. Doesn't add up. You see what I'm saying? If you're the best, you're the best. If you're the best, you gotta start. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, kudos to Trippier, man. 3-1 down, though. Let's talk about Man City's comeback. 3-1 down. The character showed by Man City to know, like, hey, man, I can't believe what's going on here. We have been stunned by a new juggernaut in the league here. Newcastle United. New Newcastle with the money and everything. We got to come back. And City responded very quickly with that goal. It was a sequence of corners. The second corner happened, and Kevin De Bruyne's ball into the box, flicked on by Rodri, back to Erling Haaland, who was Johnny on the spot to just blast that into the roof. You know, just shows the killer instinct of the striker, man, and I love that. You know, 2-3 at that point, and the Bernardo goal came 3 minutes later, and it seems as if when Man City are behind, when they score the goals, they come in a flurry. They
Yep.
come one after the other, and Kevin De Bruyne, man, he's so influential, and that's why I keep saying Man City has to start looking at a potential replacement for Kevin De Bruyne, unless he has a Luka Modric type career.
Yep.
And I don't know if Kevin De Bruyne has that type of stamina to play as long as Luka Modric. And you would know what I'm talking about as you saw Luka Modric score that goal over the weekend at 37. You see, you know?
Crazy.
So I'm telling you, so what City has to do with Kevin De Bruyne, 31 years old these days, and who knows if he have ambitions of playing for another club. Contract expires in 2025. So we have a few years left of De
Yeah.
Bruyne, a few good years where he's 31. I think he'll still be very good at 34. And looking at Real Sociedad play on the weekend as well, I think David Silva could have stayed at City.
Yeah.
You
Could
see
have.
what I'm
He played
saying?
really well against
Yeah,
Barcelona.
he could have stayed. He had a shot saved against Barcelona there as well. David Silva could have stayed at City, but you see what City does is move on the players. Okay, you could go if you have ambitions of playing for Sociedad again. Go ahead, and we still be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with Kevin De Bruyne, at least at least 3 more years we know we have of Kevin De Bruyne. He'll be 34 years old come summer 2025. And who knows if he wants an adventure at Juventus or Bayern or Real Madrid, Barcelona. Who knows, right? PSG, who knows, right? But I don't see him as a player that will stay at Man City and retire at Man City. You know what I'm saying?
Not like a
Maybe I'm wrong.
Fernandinho.
Maybe I'm wrong. But Fernandinho left and went to Brazil. But
Yeah,
maybe
but he
I'm
stayed
wrong.
very. How long did he stay at Man
Yeah,
City
yeah,
for? I
yeah. He
mean,
stayed long. He stayed
yeah.
very, very long. But Kevin De Bruyne is the only player left from the team that Pep inherited. That's another very important thing as well. So, you know, we have to start replacing him. I don't know what you think about this, but I've been thinking that Man City should actually go and sign James Madison. I
I
know
don't.
you probably don't rate Madison, but
No,
if you
I
check his
don't.
stats, bro, check James Madison's stats in the Premier League. And it's not a look at the person and you say, okay,
I get the stats, Dom, but I don't think so. I think Man City can do better than that. I would say
bro,
I think you should go for Lucas Paqueta. I think that would be a better option than
nah,
James
bro.
Madison.
Nah.
Yes, you can't
Nah,
just say
bro.
because he's done in the Premier League.
Nah.
Trust me,
No,
go for
bro.
Lucas Paqueta.
Paqueta is not as
Or if you
prolific
want to
as
go even more, more youthful, you can go for Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. That guy is a baller. My
I
God, he's a
don't
baller.
Verts. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Seriously. I don't know. I know he's one of those wonder kids and everything. But look, what I've been saying, my reasoning is Newcastle are sniffing around Madison. And with Newcastle getting that new money, and potentially they could be Premier League champions within the next 5 years if they continue
Yeah.
on that trajectory, right? If
Yep.
Newcastle are going for him, why can't we go for him as well? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We should
I mean, you
actually
can't go for him now because you would need to sell. I would say somebody. I don't. He doesn't want to just sit on the bench, right? He wants
let's say
guaranteed starts.
let's say Bernardo Silva leaves next summer and Newcastle and James Madison is still at Leicester. Why not go for a James Madison? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And the
because
topic is
probably Gundogan's going to leave next summer as well, right?
exactly. And the
Yeah.
topic is surrounding replacing a player like Kevin De Bruyne, with him leaving in a few years potentially. And, just being proactive, man, and not wait until it happens like a Chelsea, wait until a player leaves to be like, oh, well, let's panic and buy this player. Look and identify a player that you want to come in and be that next big thing. You see? So
Yep.
maybe City have already identified a player. We
They
don't
probably
know.
have. They're
Yeah.
very good at planning. They're very good
Exactly.
at it.
Maybe Man City are just going to wait until Martin Odegaard gets to that guard tail level at Arsenal and say, Odegaard, babe, come over here, baby. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you
Could be.
never know.
Could be.
And we've seen that happen a lot of times. We definitely. But the comeback here for City, Bernardo Silva proving how valuable he is with a goal and an assist in the game. Kevin De Bruyne, that has to be one of the most exquisite passes we've seen for a very long time, man.
Best midfielder in the world.
It's
No
just
debate about it.
the intelligence, the vision, and everything is just unbelievable, man. So, I'm grateful to have him. And one turning point in the game, I think, is
Trippier red card.
that Trippier red card though, because I think if before the red card there was also a 1v1,
Haaland
I
chance.
think. Yeah,
Yeah, it was before. No, it was before. I think it was after Bernardo scored. Then Haaland
yeah.
went through on goal.
I think that was actually before Bernardo scored. That was during
Oh.
that flurry. Because
Yeah.
I have it written down here. That was Haaland in behind, big save. Wow, what a game, right? So and then Bernardo scored. So if I think Haaland should have tried to go around the keeper instead
Yeah,
of
but
taking the shot.
Nick Pope came really quickly out of his line.
Oh,
He did. It was fantastic goalkeeping.
he should have taken the shot first time
Yeah.
instead of trying a chip shot instead of trying to open up his body and placing it right. But Nick Pope, man, that's the only reason why Newcastle get anything from this. I know Newcastle played well and they give us a run for their money, but look at this: 21 shots for City and 10 on target. So that means 7 of these shots were saved by Nick Pope.
Yep.
And
Do you think it was a red card on Trippier?
I don't think it was a red card. I wanted it to be a red card because
Of course you do.
because the fact that we were 3-3 with 15 minutes, a red card would have definitely given us a 5-2,
Oh, yeah.
5-3 win. We would have
Yep.
won that game 5-3.
Guarantee.
And you also got to give credit to guys like Joel Linton and Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield. They played well and they were on yellows and they managed to not get sent off, right? So give credit to those players as well. But I think it was good that the referees went and looked at the thing and say, "Hey, man, it was soft. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't that dangerous." I think Trippier was a bit late, and
Yeah.
that's the reason why he actually tripped up De Bruyne. And I think that move was actually a goal scoring move that he stopped as well.
Oh yeah. No, you guys would have been, I think, on a 3-on-2 advantage.
Exactly. That was a really good breakaway though. But we fought well. A couple more chances in the game. Newcastle did well. You know what I mean? They kept us on our toes, and they really exposed us a bit in this game.
Are you
Exposed
worried
us.
about that? Are you worried about that then for future games? That okay,
No.
maybe no.
No, because you know why I'm not worried about that is because it's going to take a very brave team to take the game to Man City and at
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
time still have that capability in defense to keep us out and a worthy goalkeeper. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you saw how many times Nick Pope was tested. 10 times he had to pull off. He had not 10 times, 7 saves he had to make in a game. You see what I mean?
That's
Some
the
of
risk you
them
run. That's the risk you run when you play against City if you try and play a game
exactly.
instead of just sitting
So,
back and defending.
you might sit back and defend and be lucky and get a draw and get that lucky goal. But what Newcastle did there, they could have ended up getting all 3 points. What I was actually worried about Newcastle for is that they were going for the 3 points even at 3-3 and they could have conceded late in the game. So great game, man. Great game of football. Great game indeed. So
Indeed.
yeah, I know you're enjoying your meal there. I know you are.
Don't worry, I
You
just
know,
finished it, so it's all good.
what were you having, bro?
Chicken and salad.
Oh, I thought you were having a little oxtail with rice and peas, man, at the
Ah,
Jamaica.
Dom,
At
I
the
wish, bro. I need a Jamaican restaurant to open here, man. I need oxtail. Oh man.
So big up to you guys for helping the stream with 50 likes as well. Do appreciate that. And Mike, this is a monumental game, man. It was really good. A point for Newcastle. Not many of us predicted Newcastle to get a point because if you check the recent history and Eddie Howe's record against both Pep Guardiola and City, this is his first point against Man City and Pep Guardiola. So kudos to them, man. And I have to say that Newcastle are definitely one of my teams to watch this season, where I
Oh yeah.
have them coming in seventh, a conference league, being a more attractive club by being in Europe as well. That will lure players. Even though players are gonna come regardless, but being in Europe would be an extra push. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, look, they're signing some good talent right now. Bruno Guimaraes. I think they're gonna get the João Pedro from Watford. They got some good players, man. They're gonna be a team in the next 5 years, as we all know. But
I
I like how they slowly build it from the back, right?
mm,
Let's get the goalkeeper, let's get the defense sorted out. We
Botman,
can
Botman, yeah,
Botman, exactly. We keep the clean sheets and we can slowly build to the front, right? They have a
yeah.
good midfield. They just need to get, I think, a right winger, and they're going to be really good this season. I think the
So
objective is top seven.
so you think they could move on from Almiron, basically?
Yes,
Yeah, he doesn't score enough goals.
he doesn't. He could be
Yeah,
good off the bench, right? If you're in a counter-attacking team, if you have to
yeah.
play counter-attacking. Starting, I don't think so. He
I
should have
I
scored 3 goals in this game.
Yeah, I think Almiron could do better in a less physical league where he could impose his speed.
La Liga.
I watched La Liga and it's very slow, man. I watched the Italian league, and the Italian league I realize has a little bit more to it. I think I can't no. I think the Italian league was very slow paced from what I saw the Inter versus Spezia game. It was very slow moving. Inter was just no pressing. The La Liga is a little bit faster than the Italian league, and then the Premier League is well. The Bundesliga is just a walk in the park for teams like Bayern. Though you saw what they did on
Well,
the
only
weekend.
Bayern. All the
You
other
know,
teams lost.
yeah, but the other teams are like, it's unpredictable when you see the other teams come up against each other.
Yeah.
But for Bayern, they're gonna win that easily, man. So I see Dane is saying Hazard to Newcastle in January. You saw how you saw how they give Hazard that penalty as like say, hey man, boost your confidence, and he still missed.
I feel bad for him, man. I
you
don't know.
know,
It's gone horribly wrong for him in
I'm
Madrid.
telling you, man. I'm telling you. So look, Mike, do you have Man City winning the title this season?
Easily, yes.
Wow, I didn't expect that though.
I already predicted it before the season.
I thought
City
you
will
were
win
going.
this 3P.
I thought you were going for Liverpool.
Arsenal?
Liverpool.
Nah, man. I have no confidence. Even before the season, I knew we would struggle.
So where do you have Newcastle finishing this season?
I think I had them 8th. I still had West Ham in 7th place. Not looking
Okay.
the greatest right now. But Newcastle, they can definitely get a top 7 finish.
All right. Okay.
That's the best they can do. I think
All right.
over time, because if they can keep Callum Wilson healthy, because he hasn't been healthy for many, many seasons, if they can keep him healthy, that's really going to give them an added boost because he's a very clinical striker compared to
Yeah.
Chris Wood, who offers absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they
Just a
need to
physical
move. They need
presence.
to move him on. I think in January they might actually move him on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a few players that they still need to move on. We check the lineup really quick. I like Fabian Schär. He's quality. He could stay at the club. Dan Burn is a hard worker. They brought him in for a reason. He's like the opposite of the whole Chris Wood situation.
Yep.
But Dubravka could be moved on in the future. Matt Ritchie, these guys got to be moved on. Emil Kraft, these guys got to be moved. I won't be surprised if Lascelles get moved on. Most of these guys would eventually be moved on, though. Longstaff came in and almost give away a bad back pass there as well. And you could see this Newcastle team building, but I don't see it. They moved on quite a bit of players over the summer, but I don't see them drastically just moving 6 players in January or whatever. We'll see some more
No.
movement next summer. Maybe 1 or 2 signings in January after the World Cup. There might be an impressive player that they might want to bring in and, We'll see them slowly build.
They have a great system on what they know what they're doing, right? They don't want to spend a whole lot of money at the moment, but just over time, they're just gonna build that squad into an absolute machine.
Yeah. Do you think Man City could have made a substitution or two apart from the Ruben Diaz four substitution, like
Did you?
maybe bring a
So wait,
Alvarez
Pep
off the?
Pep only made one sub.
Yeah, he
I
didn't
didn't
make
even
any.
know.
Yeah, he didn't
Uh,
make any more subs though. And
maybe he could have brought out Phil Foden and brought on
I
Julian
think,
Alvarez
yeah, I
or
think
Riyad.
Alvarez on the field at that point could have given them something. Mares could have maybe, dazzle over on the left and win a
Yeah.
penalty or something. You know what I mean? Just give him something different. A player that I have to mention before we move on to the Liverpool game, Rodri, bro. Rodri has slowly grown as one of the best defensive midfielders in the league. And
No,
he
he is
worked
the best. He
so
is the
hard.
best CDM in the world.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna toot my
No,
players' horn, you know what I mean?
I don't think anybody can dispute that. Rodri is
He's been
class.
very good, though. He's
Yep,
been very good. You know what I'm saying?
he's been
He's been
fantastic.
so damn good, man. And I give him credit for that. And he's highly intelligent. You ever
Yep.
hear Rodri speak?
Not really. He just
You should
reminds me of Busquets.
just check out a Rodri interview and you would not believe this guy is Spanish.
Okay.
You would not believe he's Spanish. Rodri is like he speaks fluent English.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
that's yeah, and like Ferran Torres also spoke fluent English as well. And I like that. I like to see foreign players do that. And Saint Maxima, you hear him speak as well. I was like, whoa, these guys are pretty fluent in English. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I can't speak any other language. I understand a little Spanish, you know what I'm saying? But apart from that, I don't. But look, man, we got stunned by Newcastle. We dropped points, but it's still early. You know what I mean? At least we're not 17th like Liverpool.
I can't come with chest, Dom. I don't know. I don't know. I
Oh
can't come
my
with
god.
chest right now, bro.
Oh man. What are you guys? 16th or 17th?
16th. We're
Yeah,
in a rally.
16th.
We got a
Pardon me.
6-pointer
Pardon
this
me.
weekend
Pardon me.
against
Pardon me.
Bournemouth. We
Pardon
got a
me.
6-pointer.
Yeah, early 6 point in relegation form. So look, just to move on from this game and talk, just end it on the Liverpool game. For Man City, they do have a game against Barcelona tomorrow, which will be a charity match. I get to understand, and most of the French players will be involved to see how that one works out. And they do have Crystal Palace. We got to be very careful with traveling to Barcelona tomorrow because we do have a crucial game against Crystal Palace on Saturday, followed by playing Nottingham Forest in the middle of the week on Wednesday. So crucial games. As for Newcastle, who are still unbeaten this season with 2 draws and a win, their next game will be tomorrow against Tranmere Rovers in the EFL Cup. Then they do face Wolves on Sunday, followed by a meeting in the middle of the week against Liverpool FC. So in terms of any transfer updates here, let's see if we have anything on Newcastle before we do move on to Man City and then talk Liverpool, Man United, which is one of the highlight matches of the week. I know I've been live for about almost 3 hours, but still. So Newcastle are preparing to match Everton. There's been news that Everton are preparing to match Newcastle's offer for João Pedro, but Fabrizio already tweeted out that the Newcastle deal for João Pedro is here we go. And I think that's the latest addition there to Newcastle. I've read that Newcastle put in a bid for Manu Kone. Do you know this player?
No, never heard
He's
it.
he's from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Manu Kone.
Manu Kone.
Yeah, I
Nope,
don't know that
I haven't
player
seen
very
much of
well.
him.
Yeah, I never heard of this player either. Manu Kone. He plays for Gladbach, I think. So okay, his name is Caudio Kone, and better known as Manu Kone. And he was born he's 21 years old. He plays for Gladbach. So seems as if Newcastle. He looks like Alan Saint Maxima with his dreads and everything. So let me actually bring something up. There's been a let me see. Let me just bring this up really quick here to share with the peeps. And this is Manu Kone. Green hair. Manu Kone attracted interest from Manchester United, Leicester, and Juventus. It's an old article, but also been said to attract interest from Newcastle United. So interesting player. Alon Sit Maxima, little cousin, man.
I
You
guess
know,
so. Maybe he wears a Gucci headband as well.
exactly. I don't.
Although Saint
I,
Maximin can't wear it.
yeah, because of maybe rules, right?
Yeah, they can't. I don't think they can promote any other brand if it's not associated with the Premier League.
Well, he should just come out with a Sid Maxima headband that looks like a Gucci headband. Just hit up the people in China and get your thing done. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Good marketing there. He should have done that already. He should have already came out with a headband line.
Yep.
You got to think business like there, though.
ASM.
But
He just has ASM.
exactly, ASM headband, man.
Yep.
So that's it in terms of Newcastle transfer updates. I'll bring you more when I do the preview later on this week. I think I might do the preview on Friday. In terms of Man City, I don't think there's anything in terms of any transfers coming in, though. I'm a Man City fan. I should know what's going on, but yeah, there's nothing coming in, though. Nothing coming in. Nothing. The latest thing is just you know, the Bernardo situation is like, is died down. Look, I have a question for you. Have you seen any of Man City's youngster, Rico Lewis?
Nope.
Yeah, check out Rico Lewis, bro. He made a few cameos in the preseason and so far in the earlier games. This is a good little defender that Man City got there, and
I know
Pep's gonna keep
there was
him in
that
the
left
squad.
back that you guys had. Is it S Brand?
Wilson Esbrand.
That guy was quality. He
Yeah,
was really
yeah,
good
yeah.
against Bayern. I watched a little bit of that game.
We might see him this season. We might
Yep.
see him in a few games this season, though. So, look, Mike, what we're gonna do, bro? We're gonna talk about your game.
I'm gonna leave. Thank you very much, Dom.
Oh man, thank you for coming through and spending some time with me, though. But I have to hear your thoughts on this one, bro. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Jadon Sancho in the 16th minute, Marcus Rashford 53rd, and Mo Salah in the 81st minute. I already gave most of my thoughts on this one. I'm curious to hear what you think.
Oh my! One of the worst performances I've seen under Jurgen Klopp. That was terrible. I couldn't believe how bad we were. Manchester United fully deserved to win the game. They should have won 3-4-1. If that was any other team Liverpool played, if that was Manchester City yesterday, we would have lost 6-1. That's how bad we were. I have to give credit to Ten Hag. He got his lineup correct. He understood,
Yeah.
all right, we're going to play a false nine, and we're just going to not press them, but just counterattack. And that's been the Achilles heel for Liverpool in the last couple of seasons. A false nine and a counterattack. Yep.
Since you mentioned lineup, let's take a look at these lineups, Mike. Where do you think Ten Hag got it right?
Dropping Maguire, dropping Luke Shaw, because they've been liabilities for the last couple of seasons, and dropping Ronaldo, because he clearly wanted. Because Ronaldo, he needs service. He cannot play in a counter-attacking team. He's 37 years old. Obviously, he's a legend. He cannot play in a counter-attacking team, but it worked perfectly, right? Even Scott McTominay looked good. I couldn't believe it.
Exactly, but Tyrell Malacia is a hell of a player, man. I
saw
think
him play for Feyenoord. He's a baller. He's an absolute baller.
I think he looked good in the few cameos before this, and I think this is his first start. Ten Hag actually grew some balls and said, Luke Shaw, you're on the bench. Maguire, you're on the bench. And it was a big call bringing Lisandro Martinez back in the team. I think he got dropped for the last game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And Varane, playing Varane and Martinez in the team ahead of Maguire, and bringing in Malacia. Dallo was quality. The backline was quality on the day. I have to give him credit, man.
Yep.
David De Gea did his thing, pull off some really good saves with his feet as well. But it's the backline and the hard working and the energy of the midfield there. Bruno Fernandes put his heart out on the day. Eriksen was, so for me, but he still did his thing. You can't expect him to be too mobile and hard working. But Sancho upped his game. I think Elanga, from the start, he looked a little, suspect against Trent.
Yeah.
But then he started winning some battles against Trent and was involved in that early goal when he made that run behind. You know what I'm saying? That was brilliant, man.
That goal was just so it was good play from Manchester United. Just terrible defending from Trent. I mean, just schoolboy basic stuff. I've
been talking about this all the time, and nobody taking me serious though. I've been talking about this, and people think I have something against Trent.
No, Dom. A lot of if you talk to some knowledgeable Liverpool fans, they understand that Trent's defending is trash. Look,
right.
If you take the opinion of Twitter, that's people's problems, because Twitter it's a cesspool, right? You can't trust anybody's opinion there. Trent is a liability in defense. Whether it's look, he can defend well when it's on one-on-one situations and when he's facing the defender. When he has to kind of
Run.
zonal mark, or
Yeah.
if he doesn't see the player with the ball, he doesn't know how to defend. And
And
I've seen this.
running back,
Running back too.
he's slow.
I mean, Dom,
And
the
yeah,
the, the 1-2, it's like under 15's defending. It
yeah.
was so easy to get in behind Trent. Oh, it's just terrible defending. Look, it was a street baller finish from Jadon Sancho. I call that street ball
Brilliant.
finish because it was
Brilliant,
brilliant.
brilliant.
I mean, he made Milner look silly, made Alisson look silly, and I don't know what Van Dijk is doing that goal.
He sent Milner over there, and Van Dijk was a bit too standoffish. He should have been, closing
Gotta
him down a little
show
better.
more presence in that, man. You're a
Exactly.
big body, you can block that, but I don't know
Do you
what Van
think?
Dijk.
Do you question the commitment from Virgil van Dijk in a game though? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
he was.
this season he hasn't looked good at all. I don't know what it is.
It's like he wasn't really commanding enough. Like, what I mean,
Yep.
it's like we know he plays the game very relaxed, and he could
Yep.
afford to do that because of his speed. But is he being found out a bit? Where players are saying, "Listen, man, we know you're Van Dijk. It's about time we're going to take the game to you. Look at what happened in the Fulham game. Look at what happened in the Crystal Palace game by these players getting in behind time and time again, earning a draw. And look at this right now. You know what I'm saying? Where Van Dijk should have been, closing Sancho down, giving him something to think about. You see what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it wasn't about closing down Sancho, but he literally just stood there and did nothing. He could have easily spread out his leg and try and kick the ball away.
Yeah.
But he didn't even do that. He just stood there. So it's just poor defending again from Liverpool's perspective
But
this season.
credit to Sancho though. He was very patient
Very
and
calm.
everything, and skillful to do what he did to send Alisson the other way and then to put that ball in the net there. And Rashford and McTominay, these guys had good games as well. But let's talk about the 11 played by Klopp and where you think Klopp went wrong here.
Midfield. Terrible. Why are you playing Milner and Henderson again? Have we not seen this over and over again from Klopp? It doesn't work. Fabinho, I don't think he wasn't injured. Play Fabinho, play Henderson, and play Harvey Elliott. Sorry, James Milner, great career, great professional, 37 years old, should not be starting for Liverpool in this sort of big games. Okay, he can start against a Bournemouth, and I'm not trying to disrespect these teams, Fulham or these sort of times. Against Manchester United, you're going to play Milner and Henderson. As soon as I saw that lineup, Dom, I knew we were in trouble. I already had a funky feeling going into the game. As soon as I saw that midfield, I was like, I don't know what Klopp is thinking right now.
But just to give Klopp a bit of leeway as well. Don't know if you want to give him leeway, but you guys are also going through a bit of an injury crisis right now.
Yeah, but Fabinho wasn't injured. That's the thing,
yeah,
Dom.
no, but it's still an injury crisis though, because
I understand
have
that, but
Naby Keita out, you have Jota out, Thiago out, Darwin Núñez suspended, Matip, Konate. You know what I mean? All these Curtis Jones, another midfield option, Oxlade-Chamberlain, all these players out. So, but at the same time, you have to blame Klopp and also the club for not adequately replacing players like, let's say, Divock Origi left, Mane left, right? Minamino left, and you didn't bring in players to replace these
Still
guys.
haven't replaced Gini Wijnaldum.
Exactly, when you really think about it. So, I think having James Milner in the team from the start sends the wrong message. I know he's a seasoned pro and all, but this is Man United. Man United are age 25 average. Liverpool got an average of 28 years old. Yep. I think by playing Fabio Carvalho, who had a great season for Fulham, would have sent the right message here, right? He would have been able to match up with the speed and the intensity of Man United's midfield. And you saw that happen when Fabio Carvalho came. When you think Liverpool came back into the game, it's Carvalho. Yep. It's Carvalho with that shot that was saved by De Gea and headed in by Salah. But you see what I'm saying?
Dom, just scroll down to our bench. Look at this bench.
I know, and that's why I'm saying the injury crisis. But Firmino was playing as a deep line creative midfielder. He was never up top. And it's only when he started to play as a striker, the chances, you guys were really threatening.
I really feel bad for Salah and Diaz, man. They had no service.
Hard. Exactly.
They had to create all their chances and take on three players.
To be fair to Salah, he was getting the balls, but Terrell Malacia, bro.
Yeah, he was doing well.
Malas,
But then
they were
also
they
at the
were
same
double
time,
teaming. They were double
exactly,
teaming Salah.
exactly,
Martinez and Terrell Malacia were double teaming the hell out of Salah. So
because there
even
was
if
no
you
options in the box for him to
exactly
play into
because
or make a
Firmino is
play.
playing as a defensive midfielder.
Yep, yep.
You know what I'm saying? So every time Salah got past Malacia, Martinez would be in the way. Malacia would come and kick the ball out for a corner. So, Man United had their game plan down to a T, and
Oh
you
yeah.
got to give credit to Ten Hag for going out there, being brave. The players, actually listening to what he had to say and going out and putting the game plan on the field. It's hard to put things from paper onto the field, and that's exactly what they did. For Liverpool, I think they lack the intensity. I saw a stat that Man United outsprinted Liverpool in the game, but they were just going for it while Liverpool were just, even though they had most of the ball, they didn't
We
take the
did nothing with the
opportunities.
ball, Don. We did
Exactly.
absolutely zero. Absolutely nothing. Only when it came to the last 20 minutes did we show some urgency. Before that, zero. Nothing. No
Okay.
desire.
Okay. Last week, Klopp started Nat Phillips. He had
Okay.
Joe Gomez. What do you
Yeah,
think? What
no,
what,
but
what is
that
he?
was he had to play Nat Phillips because I think Joe Gomez was having a medical that day, scanning for something. So they
But Joe
deemed that.
Gomez did come off the bench later on in
Yeah,
the game.
I don't understand. They just didn't think that Joe Gomez could play the full 90. That was the problem.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, but fair enough. But look, you look at the Liverpool bench; it ain't looking good. And
Oh God.
another thing too, I think an option Klopp could explore in the future is to drop Robertson.
I
Drop
think
him.
that's gonna happen. I
You
think
gotta drop him. He's not been playing well enough. Drop
no, he
him.
hasn't.
Bring in Tsimikas because he offers a goal threat, and that's one change. You gotta bring Fabinho. Has to play. You saw when Fabinho came on, he looked better, and Carvalho might act. I know Elliott. He worked hard, but we might see Carvalho for Elliott in the next game.
I'll say this again, and
You see what I'm
I'll
saying?
say it over and over again. Pep is ruthless. Klopp is too sentimental. He loves his guys. He loves the
Well
guys who's
said.
brought it. He loves the guys who's brought him to this moment. The
Well said.
Robertsons, the
Well
Milner,
said.
the Henderson, the Firminos. These guys are done. Henderson, Milner, and Firmino should not be starting for Liverpool Football Club in 2018. Okay, maybe Robertson, maybe he just needs a little bit of a break. He looks exhausted. And we're only 3 games in, and he looks absolutely exhausted. Shimikas has to play. He offers much more going forward, and that's what Liverpool need. Our creativity is lacking. We have no creativity in the midfield. All we're doing is hoping that our wingers can create some magic, or that we don't even do overlapping runs. I did not see once where Trent went overlap on Salah yesterday, or the same thing on the other side with Diaz and Robertson. That was our bread and butter for the last couple of seasons. We're not even doing that. I don't know what's going on, Dom. I have a feeling that there's something behind the scenes that we do not know. Because there's not a lot of things come out of Liverpool Football Club, right? Not a lot of this little chatter. It's more Manchester United with all the players and all the rumors. But I have a feeling something's going on we don't know about.
Well, it's left to be seen. But I
Yeah.
saw something that a Liverpool 11 back in 2018,
Oh, against Leicester,
and
yeah.
and it was two different players that were playing in the Liverpool team than what played yesterday, right? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, this is kind of weird because Joe Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent, all these guys started the game. I think
Yep.
Milner. I think the only difference was Wijnaldum and Mane.
Yep.
The only
That's it.
difference, and something gotta change. Something definitely gotta change, man. And it asks the question again: is Klopp gonna actually sign a new midfielder because the whole Naby Keita situation as well that's being in the news that
That's just a catastrophe, and now he's injured again. I don't know what to do with Naby. He's got to go, man. I love the guy. He's had some good moments, but the injuries are just completely destroying him at the moment.
yeah.
Anytime Klopp looks to him to bring him on and make an impact on the game, he's injured. Injured.
I think it's not. It has not worked out though. It has definitely
That's
not
that's
worked
been
out.
that's been the big money signing that hasn't worked out for Liverpool under Klopp.
Hasn't worked out, man.
Yep.
And I think he has to go back to maybe Leipzig or the Bundesliga, somewhere else to get that spark back because he's just not the man for Liverpool. You saw he had some good games, you know what I mean, to be fair, but
Yeah.
overall it just have not worked out for Naby Keita though. So look, you guys tried to get back in this game late flurry. I think you guys looked good at the end where there was a few saves. Firmino had a shot saved. I could remember David De Gea
The
pulling off
Fabinho from the corner, yeah.
a couple big saves as well. And with that Salah goal, anything could have happened after that. You know what I'm saying? Bruno Fernandes didn't want to give Salah the ball back. And you could understand why he was doing that, because with Salah getting the ball is momentum. But to be fair to Bruno Fernandes, it's his ball. Think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because is Man United is going to restart the play. So that's what Bruno was saying. It's my ball. We got to restart the play. So why are you trying to fight me for the ball? You see what I'm saying? Go celebrate another way. You feel me? So,
Yeah.
So,
no, Bruno did the right thing there. I would do the exact same thing as Bruno.
And another question before we end this thing. Do you think the Darwin Núñez effect is being felt here? The absence of Núñez, his dumb red card in the last game. He would have probably ate up Man United in this game if he was out there.
He would have at least opened up space in the midfield. The midfield was so crowded because there was 4 guys there. And then it would have allowed space for Luis Diaz and Salah to try and link up play. But you know what? He decides to be Zidane and headbutt somebody. It's just stupidity from Núñez's part. And I wish he would have played in this game. I think he would have done really, really well. But
another thing, Mike. Another thing. You guys are missing a player like this game was screaming up for Mane, but he's gone. Yeah. He's doing things at Bayern Munich. He's even fucking scoring penalties. Imagine that. Mane on the penalty. Bayern are having so much fun that they say, Sadio, it's yours. The commentator said this is the first penalty goal that Mane has scored. First one for a club. For Liverpool, he scored none. You see what I'm saying? Because he wasn't getting the penalties. It was always Salah. You see? So I think that's one of the reasons why Mane probably like, Liverpool, man, bye-bye. We got a penalty. I can't take no penalties because you're giving Salah the penalties. You have me on 100K a week. You have Salah on double. You see what I'm saying? Like, bye, man. I'm out of here. I'm doing the most and I'm getting the least. So, I see him at Bayern. His hair is growing back. You know what I'm saying? He's smiling. He's taking penalties. He's scoring braces. So you
saying he visited Turkey and came back?
Less stress, bro. Less stress. You see what I'm saying? So. He's doing his thing. He could show up to the game, not even play, and know they're still going to win the league at the end of the season. For Liverpool, you're not guaranteed a league title, man. You know what I'm saying? So, kudos to Mane. But the game screamed out for a player like Diego Jota as well. You know what I'm saying? Because
not even attackers, Dom. We need midfielders.
No, but I'm saying, though, Diego Jota,
I know, to get a goal and be a little bit of a menace in the box. I get that. But
the thing is, right, another thing. You talk about there's no midfielders. You have Thiago. But
injury,
what has Thiago done in terms of assists in the league?
No, but but the way he moves the ball, right?
I understand that.
It's so stagnant from defense to attack, right? We're so slow in possession. With Thiago, he moves the ball quickly. He can spread a pass. Henderson can't spread a pass. Milner doesn't know how to pass.
But at the same time, Mike, he's not as effective as a De Bruyne. Like you guys
of course not. No.
I think Liverpool fans thought that with Thiago, you was going to get a player that's going to rack up a whole lot of assists and cut apart the defense. He's done it on a few occasions, but the numbers are not there to prove otherwise. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
He's played well last season. He was better than the previous season. And, but his injury record is a concern. And we did talk about that a few times. But you know what Liverpool fans said? Nah, he's not injury prone, man. He's not injury prone. He is injury prone.
No, I was worried when we signed him. I knew he was a baller. And I just was always worried about his injuries because he was already injury prone at Barcelona and Bayern Munich. And it just continues with this guy. Out for 5 more weeks.
Another stat that I actually ran into, because Mike, I don't know if I'm speaking to the people in the chat too. I do a lot of research. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of what's going on. You know what I mean? I check my things. I know what's going on. Liverpool, right, have been conceding the first goals in the last, I think, I read something, the last 11 matches or something like that.
Last 10 out of the 11, 11 matches,
something like that, man. Something like that. They've been conceding a lot of goals. And I don't know how far it goes back to, but they've been conceding the first goals in most of their games.
Hmm.
But to be fair, you guys are going through a bit of an injury crisis right now because,
That
look,
doesn't. I don't want to hear that excuse for us. We're playing
it's
terrible.
it's
We're
not
playing terrible.
excuses. It's not excuses, but at the same time, you don't have the personnel to do the job. You see what I'm saying? If you had the personnel to do the job, it could be a whole different story. But you
I get
don't have
that,
that
but
personnel.
this not even our defense looks terrible. We look all over the place. It doesn't
But what
matter if
I'm
we're playing
saying, what
Fulham
I'm saying,
or
bro, what I'm saying, you're playing with your fourth choice defender.
yeah, but Joe Gomez is still good enough. I know he's not Matip or Konate, but Joe Gomez is still good enough. But even with
There's my point. Fourth
but even with Matip, we still look all over the place. We have I don't know what's going on with the structure. Our pressing doesn't even look good either. We used to be the pressing monsters. We don't even do that well. We would
Well,
just suffocate teams.
you guys have been depressing this season.
Yes, that's exactly what we've been. We've been
Yeah,
depressing, bro.
exactly. So look, Mike, we've been here for over 3 hours. I know you joined me midway through, and I appreciate you coming through to talk about the big games. It seems like you're having an evening off, man. What's going on?
Ah, man, it's 8 o'clock here, so I got an evening off
Uh, you didn't
tomorrow.
you didn't put out no content today?
I'm going live later. It's called Liverpool Panic Moment.
Oh, you're going live later in the night, so you
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Because I took a nap after work, bro. I didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. I was so
All
pissed
right.
last night.
Yeah, I'm actually off from work today, so you know, I enjoy Mondays and Tuesdays to wake up a little later, and then my wife is also off, so I don't get to drop her to work on these days too.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's all good. But look, Man United 2, Liverpool 1, and in terms of who the team split next for Man United, they will play Southampton next, and for them, they move off the bottom of the table all the way up to 14th with the first 3 points, first points of the season. Ten Hag is a happy man. The Man United fans are happy. They brought in Casemiro. They're looking to bring in Anthony, and they're just looking to grow strength by strength. As for Liverpool, their next game is at home against Bournemouth. That's going to be a very tricky game too because, with Liverpool playing the way they are, Bournemouth may have some ideas. They might have their tails up and you never know what could happen. But it should be a win for Liverpool though. And I've predicted Liverpool to win their first 3 games. I want to say this for people who think I don't like Liverpool and I'm always hating against Liverpool. But I predicted you guys to win your first 3 games and you have won absolutely none. None. All right. And
Can't
I,
come with
I,
chest.
I haven't heard any transfer chirps when it comes to Liverpool. You guys were linked to Mateus Nunes.
We're
He
not
was wait.
signing
He
anybody,
was
Dom.
he was wait.
They said a month ago we're not going to sign anybody else, and that's it. And
Uh,
I said, all right, F it. I give up hope in this midfield.
yeah, you guys aren't gonna win anything then.
Nope.
Well, maybe you win the Carabao Cup again, but
I could care less about that, bro. I could care less about
definitely,
an energy drink cup.
definitely not the league though, because this is not the start that you needed to give you the momentum to win the league at all.
Nope.
So yeah. So I give more updates when it comes to the preview. That's gonna happen later on this week. But as for the review, it was a very dramatic and entertaining weekend. Some good results. Leeds defeated Chelsea. United defeated Liverpool. Newcastle held Man City to a draw. There was an exciting game between Brentford and Fulham as well. And all around the leagues, we had some good matchups. We didn't have any nil-nil draws this weekend, so that was at
Damn.
least very, very good. So, look, Mike, I would love to go on and talk to other leagues and things like that, but I really can't today. And,
No worries.
yeah, Champions League draw is coming up. That's going to be exciting.
Yep, Thursday.
And unfortunate. What time is it? I don't
I
even
think
know.
it's at 12 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, I'll be at work, so I won't actually get to
It's
react
okay,
to
Dom.
that
I'll tell you who
live.
your group is. It's Shakhtar Donetsk, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and some other team. Nah, Borussia Mönchengladbach's not there. But you're definitely getting
Uh,
Shakhtar, as you always do. Every year,
man,
it's Man City Shakhtar.
look, I actually hope we end up with a good draw, and we could make it as far as a semi-final again this season. But
I would love for it to be Man City and Barcelona in the same
you
group.
know,
Oh,
we'll do more Champions League discussions in the future. Big up to my boy Steve Mahala as well. He's been joining me with the Champions League streams, and there's gonna be Champions League football today already. They
yep.
probably started already. I
No,
don't even.
they start in an hour.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be, watching some of those. The ties that I got my eye on is the Pilsen Karabash tie and the tie between Bodo Glimt and Dinamo, because Steve and I have this competition going on and we're tied 25-25 in terms of predictions. So
Yeah, the Bodo Glimt game is tomorrow.
yeah, what do you think? You think Dinamo would come back against Bodo Glimt?
I think so. I
I
would
think
love.
so too. I
I
would
would
love
love.
Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I already promised myself if Bodo Glimt make it to the group stage, I'm gonna go watch a game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
go to
would be
Norway
good.
because
That
that's just an amazing story what they have going on there. But
how,
Zagreb, very difficult to go to.
yeah, how much does it cost to go to Norway? About $20?
No, not $20. That
I
if I
remember
took.
I
Go
remember
ahead.
one time you told me it cost like $50 for a plane ticket to go somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
If
were
you take
telling
if you
me.
take Ryanair or EasyJet, one of these airlines, I mean, don't bring suitcase. You're not going to get it. But yeah, it's pretty cheap to fly around Europe. Luckily, if I go to
Okay.
Norway, it would probably cost me 150 bucks.
What will you do? Fly there or you take the
Yeah, yeah,
train or
fly there.
something?
No,
Okay,
fly there.
okay.
If I take train, it'll take me a day to get there probably.
Okay. Yeah, man. Oh. I'm actually looking to go to England for the Liverpool Man City game. I actually
Oh
forgot to
wow.
mention that. So I have to start putting together some funds to actually to buy the ticket early to get it at a good price and start, working on some logistics to where I'm gonna stay. If I'm gonna stay with someone or at a hotel for a couple nights. I'm only gonna go for like 4 days tops.
Yeah.
But I want to do that. I've never been to Europe,
Oh
and
wow.
I want to make the trip. If that happens, I might actually look to drive over to France too. You never know. If
Well,
I don't,
if you go to Liverpool, Man City, I'd recommend staying in Manchester because it's a bit cheaper and it's not that
okay,
expensive to take the train then from Manchester to Liverpool.
or even to drive there too.
Yeah, you
So
could drive there too, but
it's
it's
not
the
that
train.
far.
Yeah, no, it's less than an hour drive. They're very close to cities.
Yeah, but I probably would drive because I like being in control of things. You know what I'm saying? When I say being
Yeah,
in
but that's on your.
control,
But remember, Dom, it's on the other side of the road.
bro, I'm from St. Vincent.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
good point.
just I drive on the other side of the road when I go to St. Vincent too. So
Gotcha,
I'm
gotcha.
pretty good when it comes to that though. But look, don't forget that Man United defeated Liverpool 2-1. I'm gonna rub it in some more, and we
Uh,
have match day 4 coming up, bro. It's exciting to have another Premier League season, on our hands. I enjoy the content, but I don't know what it is. Unfortunately, we don't get the reception that we should get in terms of the Premier League content and the club content. And I'm actually gonna start pivoting over to the international and the World Cup side a
yep.
lot more. From one September hits, September, October, November, a lot of international content. I'm planning on, I'm working on some things, but it's just that I have the club thing that I have to keep talking about in between. You see what I'm saying?
You know who got
So
sacked, right? In international football, right?
yeah, I heard Halis Hodzic got
Yep,
sacked.
and
Yeah,
Skokic from Iran.
Skokic got sacked too.
Yep, I think he did.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I saw that a
I,
month
I
ago.
I I gotta do something in terms of updates and all of that when it comes to the World Cup. I gotta start doing some World Cup content because people love that World Cup content, man. As for the club, mm, what I mean. Uh,
You can cover the Europa League and Conference League. They did very well for me last season. I'd
yeah,
recommend doing that. There's a lot of
yeah.
fans out there who
I'll,
appreciate
I'll I'll
being
see
talked
what
about
I
their
could
club.
do, but the thing is, when it comes to YouTube, you know what I mean. There's I don't know what it is, bro. Like it doesn't matter how good you are and
Mm,
how good you articulate things and analyze things. Only certain channels would actually get the reception and
of
get the
course.
and get the riches and the wealth, while people like you and I are out here doing the best work, possibly the best work, and we out here starving artists. say
We're
hey
just the
say
forgotten men. We're the forgotten men, Dom.
Yeah, we say, hey, we oh man, it was a great day at work today. I took a nap. You know what I'm saying? While we could probably, if we were getting the numbers what we deserved, we could have probably said, hey man, wake up in the morning, make a cup of tea or coffee, and this is what we do every day. You see what
I
I'm
wish,
saying?
Dom. I wish I don't
You
have to go to
know,
work. I don't have to wake up at 6:30, take my dog out, eat, go to
bro.
work, come back. Oh man, it's.
I wake up at 4:30 every day for work, bro. Imagine that.
I used to do that, Dom.
4:30,
I
bro.
couldn't do that anymore.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. But big up to Dane. Dane saying I should actually vlog my journey. He's also saying the UCL draw he can't relate. Man United,
Yep.
you know. Mr. Yon, appreciate you being in the stream for the entire time, bro. You know what I mean? The real deal. Obvious girl, everybody, Palomo, everybody, man. This is the longest live stream I've done this season, but it's because I've got up early and I made it happen though. But look, the grind does pay off, Mike. It does
Yep.
pay off. You know, we reap the benefits when it comes to the World Cup at in November when
Well, let's
we
hope so, Dom, because everybody else, all the
exactly
football channels is gonna come
exactly.
along. You know it,
But
Dom.
still, though, still, if we strategize and we stay on top of our game and we get that content out, especially the build-up content. This is
Yep.
where we could win the build-up content, the analysis of the teams before the tournament. No one else is gonna do it, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I
No,
mean?
nobody's gonna talk about Ecuador or Qatar or any of these
Bro,
teams. They're just gonna focus
they
on the big ones.
they're mercenaries. They're gonna
Yep.
come. They're gonna react to the games. They're gonna do watch-alongs. You know,
They're gonna do
and
predictions.
another thing we have to talk is to the people, man. The people, guys, you have
Give
to
the
support.
people what they want.
But the thing is, the people got to support us because they're the same ones that run and you know what I mean. They disappear when they should be here supporting the you
Yep.
know. But bro, get the World Cup content done and you see exactly. You know what I'm talking about. You know.
Yep. I know.
I don't need to tell you twice. But look, are you guys going to Qatar? Nah, hell nah. You know what I mean?
2026,
20,
baby.
man. 2026, it'll be in America. I'm home. And I'll see if I could get a couple tickets to go to some games. You know what I mean? So
You have to, Dom. Are you
yeah,
crazy?
of course I have to. Of course, God's
I got
willing.
a plan. I got a plan on which city I go to because they didn't give it to Denver.
I gotta I think I didn't even look at the damn stadiums. Did the New Jersey stadium get
Yeah, New Jersey got it.
okay, okay,
Atlanta got it.
okay. I'll
Kansas
be going to
City, Philadelphia, Miami. I think Houston, Dallas, San Francisco, LA.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll be going to New Jersey, even though it's a lot of tolls to go to New Jersey. I, I'm gonna
Train?
be good. Well, I rather drive to places, bro. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah, I rather drive everywhere.
I
You know
see.
what I
See,
mean?
Dom, I'm used to public transportation here.
Yeah, you don't drive. You don't have a car that you
I
drive.
have a car, but I don't take it to. It's so expensive to park it, so
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
it's cheaper just to take the
Yeah,
public
I
transportation.
I live in the suburbs and I work at JFK, so you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
it's
Yeah,
all car.
it works out for me. You know what I mean. But no, it was nice. You know, I had fun. Hope we could do it again in the future. I know it wasn't planned or anything. I just saw you and I'm like, come through.
Come through.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yep, I have a lot of work to do still. You know, I've been working hard on the channel. You know, I hit a snag a bit, but still, I took a break. But gonna come with the World Cup content heavy. I'm coming with some spec. You see, the thing is, Mike, we don't do enough. Let me tell you what our problem is, and let me tell you, we have a weakness for this. Our weakness is these 3.5 hour streams that we want to get into the nitty gritty and we want to
Mm,
talk and we want to analyze. Most people don't care about that. You see what I'm saying? People like spectacle content.
yeah, of
People
course.
like 10-minute hype videos about the top 10 things or, big transfers coming in. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That kind of stuff. A lot of lightning bolts and fire in the background and things like that. That is what people like. People don't care about sitting down for 3 hours and hearing what we have to say. But I do have some spectacle content coming, some that I've done in the past, some tail lists and things like that,
There we go.
And I advise you to do some of that too, Mike. You know
Oh
what I
yeah, I will.
mean?
I
You
will do a
know,
tier list when the UCL
yeah.
group stage come out to do like
But
favorites.
yeah, but try to keep them short and don't
Oh
do
yeah.
do them all in live streams. You could do the live stream version, but but just be on the lookout for some big
Oh,
videos from your boy
uh,
Dam, though.
I'm
You
ready
know.
for this. I'm ready for this.
All right, man. So, Mike, thanks again. Thanks to the people. And you could catch Mike at Michael Talks Football. Let me just get his name up there. Michael Talks Football on Twitter and Michael Talks Football on his YouTube channel. I have to actually put your name in into the description of this video. So before I forget, and you guys don't forget to check out his channel though. He's a growing YouTuber. He'll be up to 50K one day, like me. And I implore that you take advantage of the World Cup, bro. The World Cup hype, the
No,
build up
definitely.
during
You
the
know,
World Cup
Domit.
and after the World Cup. You know what I mean? You're definitely gonna hit 10K, and sky's the limit. Plus, you're young.
I've taken 3 weeks off of work for the World Cup.
I taken 2 weeks off.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? And I'm looking to actually get the first 2 weeks of the World Cup because the group stage
Yep.
is actually better than the knockouts, believe it or
Exactly.
not. So I got my days off for November. No, for December, but I have to get it from November 2020, whatever,
Yep.
21st to the 28th, and then the 28th to early December. And then I deal with the knockouts after that. But I want the group stage because what I noticed last time when I did the 2018 World Cup, good reception for the group stages, and after the 16 teams left, it just went
Yeah, of
down.
course.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of people just focusing
exactly,
on it. Yeah.
exactly. So look, it was fun doing this, guys. Thanks again for watching. From your boy Michael Talks Football, and I peace out. What? Peace.